So, do we have any more bookkeeping we want to do before we think about? Because remember, David is separated from the group, so we're going straight into something where it's going to be just me and him at times.
Yeah, whilst meanwhile we'll be pounding on the door, etc.
Yeah. Okay. So
Depends whether you're seeing a door or rock wall ahead of you, Peter.
So I'll recap last week then. What happened was Stinky Nook was scouting ahead down here. He has walked into a circular room, a very curious circular room. In this room there are murals painted on the walls. Painted on the wall going round, a quarter each, quarter each, quarter each, quarter each. Weather and nature scenes of spring, summer, autumn or fall for you Americans, and winter. And then a little patch of earth, circular patch of earth in the middle of this circular room. And that's all there is. And when he's walked into it, he's walked in through an open natural cavern entrance just like this, here on my map. And when he's walked into it, a door has appeared behind him, like as if magic, as if from an illusion or from being invisible or whatever, and has slammed shut. And he is now alone in this room. So I'll take him off this map, and he's on the other side of a door here with the rest of the group on the outside of it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly, I'll not change the players, but I'm going to put myself onto another map so you can see I've just made a little thing for Stinky Nook. Now, I can pull you onto a map, can't I, David? Individually? How do I do that?
Oh, that I'm not sure. I've not tried that in Roll20.
Hang on a second then.
I mean, is there any reason why the rest of the party can't see it?
No, there's no reason why the rest of the party can't see it.
In that case, why not move the entire party there,
right.
And you can just put Stinky Nook's figure on if you want.
You're correct. There we go, we'll do that then.
Pound, pound, pound.
So you're just going to be pounded on the door then, okay. So Stinky Nook, you can hear on the other, from your side of the door, a very, very faint, what seems to be an almost like muffled padding, like door noise from behind you. It doesn't sound as clear as if it's a bang on the door, even though this door is just behind you. Let's say you've came in from here, right? So you're at the south door, and they are right behind it. You don't know this, but you hear a banging as if it's away off somewhere in the distance, and it's like a muffled low sound.
Magic. Terrible thing.
Out of character, like there's a magical muffling of the sound as well.
Yep. Well, I'm just assuming that it's a magical door that's just appeared, and so I'm probably hearing the party, but there's not a lot I can do, because I presume I shall back up to the door and have a look at it. No sign of a keyhole or anything?
No keyhole.
No sign of a handle?
No handle. No key, no handle.
I think you said there was a door on the other side?
Yep.
No?
Yep. And it's the
There's
same.
a door on... So this door matches the one on the other side?
Yeah, they're the same. They look the same. They've got the same filigree in them. They are like fancy, although they were just in like a stone frame within the cavernous wall. And then this wooden door, it's fancy with filigree and with, iron bits running through it, and it's beautiful, like beautifully crafted door.
Yeah. So, question is whether this is some sort of maze or whether it's a puzzle room. I'm suspicious about the heap of earth. Does it look like something's dug its way out?
No. It looks... No? I mean, I've tried to get something for the map that's as close to what it is. So you've got like although our ground here is quite grey, picture it as more just like a lighter, less fresh dirt. So hard packed dirt here, and this is just like a softer, slightly raised bump of the same kind of earth, but it's quite clear to see because it's a small room that it's like dug up. You know what I mean? From the same, it's the same soil, but it's turned. Would be the right word? I guess ploughed would be the right word.
So, like in the mushroom farms, it's been dug over, ready for new spores.
Potentially, like that, because it looks like it's the same dirt that's in the rest of the ground, but just like dug or turned, I guess would be the word, something like that.
Okay, so it's not dropped from the ceiling. It is what it is. Okay, fine. Well, I shall cautiously check round the walls and see if there's anything that's not immediately obvious in terms of moving bits of stone, etc. Are the paintings at my level or raised up higher? Are they paintings or?
So it's okay. So to answer both those questions, then, so it's kind of domed, right? Although it's still a natural shape at the top. It's in a domed shape of a room, and the pictures go from the floor to the ceiling, and then they intersect at the as they would, because it's 4 of them, and they do seem to be painted into the rock, into the wall. They do seem to be painted, yes.
Okay, and is it a carved surface that's then been painted, or is it just natural rock that's been painted?
Seems to be natural rock, perhaps smoothed a bit and then painted.
Okay, fine. Well, I have been on training missions above ground, so I am aware that there's things called seasons, even if I'm not particularly knowledgeable about them.
The thing is, you've spent enough time above ground now, enough time in taverns and towns, that you're guaranteed to have heard some conversations about the weather. It's the most most common small talk conversation. You're bound to have heard people talk about the weather. You're bound to understand above ground weather by now. And I would say the seasons. What's your intelligence?
If he spent a lot of time with Kiara, I would definitely have tried to tell him stories about nature.
Well, he spent nights with you in the bear in the stables and stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if he listens to you, I guess you are telling him stuff. I guess you've got a knowledge of the overground seasons, thinking.
Yep. Intelligence 13.
Yeah, I'd absolutely say so. Without having to make any roll or that. Just because of the group that you travel with, the people you know, the places you've been, the time you spent in the places you've been. Yeah, you know what the seasons above ground are.
Okay.
You recognise this picture as well.
Okay. I recognise the picture. Is it somewhere Are they pictures of the same place?
No, sorry. Let's change my language to be perfectly clear. You don't recognise the picture as you recognise this scene, like this is such and such a place. You just recognise that that's a winter scene. That's the weather in winter. That's the season. This is because it's the trees and it's the snow and it's the sun and it's the clouds and all the things you would expect that are a visual picture of the seasons. It's a picture of the weather, the seasons. That's what you recognise.
Okay.
You recognise that it is what it is. You don't have to work that out.
So, is it a picture of the same spot at different seasons, or are they just idealised pictures of how the seasons would look?
I would say I'd say potentially A, probably just B, but looking at it, potentially a little bit of A. It looks like it could. It's a couple of trees here in that picture, there's a couple of trees there in that picture, there's maybe a hill there in that one where there isn't in that one, there's maybe a beach in that one where there isn't in that one, but they could just be roughly the same place, or different parts of the same place, or...
But seen from a different spot.
Perhaps, yes.
Yeah. But it's not obviously the same place going through seasonal cycles.
It's certainly not obviously that.
Okay, so it's more to define what the seasons are. Right. In which case, if I don't find anything else... I mean, is there any difference between this door and the one on the opposite side of the chamber?
No, they look the same.
Okay, and the one on the opposite side of the chamber, again, no lock, no handle.
It's the same.
Right.
I mean, it's quite clearly a magical door.
Yes. In that case, having got rid of all the other options, I will cautiously approach the area in the centre.
Okay, so I've described it pretty much as you need to know about it. It's just a mound of earth, slightly raised from the rest and slightly looser soil than the rest would be the accurate description.
Okay. Having worked in the mushroom farms as a kid, I kind of prod the compacted earth, just to get a feel for how compacted it is, and then I will try prodding into the edge of the turned earth to see whether it's just laid on a hard packed surface or whether it has actually been dug up.
Okay, your intelligence said it was 13.
Yep.
I would say it's quite obvious to you that this is just a patch of something's been dug in the middle of the room from the same earth. Excuse me.
Okay.
It's like, I mean, you're inspecting it, so this is fair enough to give you an accurate description. It's like it's been packed down again.
Yep.
But it's quite obviously been lifted up and then packed down again.
Right. So it's not freshly turned earth as if something's ready to plant.
It's not freshly turned.
It is a mound that's been packed down. So something's been dug up, something's been put down, then the earth's been put back on top of it, but it's not settled properly. Okay, fine.
You don't need two guesses, you mate. You're good.
Right. In that case, I can't reach into my backpack and get things out.
No, you've got just a couple of straps with nothing on them hanging over your shoulders. Remember?
Exactly. So it's just what I have in my pockets.
Absolutely, one of the highlights of the campaign so far for me was destroying that backpack. Amazing.
Yes, I noticed a certain malicious note in your voice at the time.
It was great fun. I never suggested that you put the thing in your backpack. That was all on you.
Would you rather I'd put it on Charlemagne?
You were going to put it on the bear, yeah, that would have been interesting.
That would have been fun for Charlemagne, wouldn't it?
Maybe not. That was good though.
Yeah,
that was a lot of fun.
Exactly. Yes, it almost matched the point where you destroyed my bow. Anyway, back to the turned earth. So, okay, so if something's been buried, I think I'd probably better have a look and see what it is. So I shall start to try and dig that out. Now, what can I dig it out with? He said. I've got a choice of. I mean, I don't have a shovel,
no.
So I'm gonna have to use one of my weapons.
One of your fancy shiny plus X and plus Y weapons, is it?
Yes. I can. All right. I think I'll take an arrow out.
Okay.
And I shall start trying to excavate one side and
with an arrow.
lift it away. Yes. Well, yes.
So an arrow with a head that's like let's picture a shovel, right? And compare an arrow.
Hang on a second.
Like
are we
teaspoon,
talking broad?
Right?
Are you talking broadheads or?
Mate, it doesn't matter because you're talking teaspoon versus tablespoon. It's still not going to make a huge difference on the grand scale of digging something up, is it?
True. But at the moment, I'm being very, very cautious.
Yeah, so it might be 8.5 hours versus 10 hours if you've got a broadhead on the arrow. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
but the point is to see what happens when I start trying to dig it up. If something reaches up and grabs whatever I'm digging with, I'd rather it was an arrowhead than my +1 longsword.
I see where you're going with that, right? Okay, so is that what you're going to do then? Start digging at the soil?
I'm going to start digging away, not from the centre. I'm going to start at the edge,
right?
Just pulling away the surface and pulling out a little bit below the surface.
Okay,
just to see what happens.
The soil comes up. The soil moves as you would expect it to. It's a little bit tough with an arrow because, like I say, it has been packed out, quite clearly been packed back down a bit. So it's not so easy with just an arrow because you could quite easily snap that if you get it too far in. And so it's so it's coming out at a very, very slow rate, but nothing
is
unexpected is happening.
Okay, nothing's taking hostile action.
No, nothing unexpected is happening.
Okay, in that case, I will knock the soil back off the arrowhead and put that back in the quiver, and I think I probably better try it with my longsword.
Okay.
Because that's got a broader blade.
Alright.
Okay, so in that case I will start effectively lever it in, lever up, and then slide it over to the side and start working away to one side.
Alright.
Okay.
So, how long do you want to do this one? Dig it from the side? Like until you get to the centre, or?
Well, if this is hard-packed earth, then as I dig down, do I hit the edge of what was dug? If you think of somebody digging a hole in hard-packed earth, then effectively you'd almost have a bowl shape.
Eventually you will dig into that bowl, yes. The top of the bowl.
Okay.
Because you've got
fine.
hard ground underneath. This is still fairly hard because it's like it's been dug and then packed down again, but you can get through this. Underneath it you're going to need a shovel, or round it. So, although we've got a big colour difference in the map, picture it's the same soil, just this is a little looser and been packed down again.
Yep. So if I just sketch something on, if that's okay.
That's okay.
Okay, so if I sketch on and say, right, I think effectively if that was the original ground surface, then am I right that the bottom of the hole looks something like that sort of thing. In other words, when I dig down here,
you're going to get to here.
Then I find something like that sort of shape just at the edge.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, fine. Okay, so in that case, whatever's there is probably in the middle. So rather than just scraping away here, I'm going to have to take the middle out. So in that case, I will start digging at the middle of the mound.
Right. Okay. So, sorry. Go ahead. You got something else to say there? Go ahead, mate.
I will carefully push the longsword in until there's about as much as I think I can lever.
Yep.
And if it doesn't touch anything, fine. Then I'll pull it back out again, lever it, and then start digging out to that depth.
Okay.
Once I've dug down the next 4 inches or so, then I'll try pushing the longsword in again. If I don't touch anything, pull it out a bit, dig another 4 inches. So effectively, I'm gradually digging down until I touch something.
Yep. Okay. So
maybe.
So let's say this is your mound, right?
Yep.
I've drawn the top of the mound, and then what you've drawn was exactly how you described it, right?
That's what I think is possibly there.
Yeah.
And I dug down at the edge just to see whether that was the sort of shape. I mean, it may well be that it's much deeper in the middle than I've drawn. I don't know.
No, it's shallow, like you've drawn it. So,
okay, fine.
What I want is a perception check from you, and when we do a perception check, we do the average of the intelligence and your wisdom. So if you could roll that for me, see what you get.
Okay. And I will keep an eye on the earth I'm digging out as well to see if there's any change in it. Yes, that's below the average. My perception is intelligence 13, wisdom 11. So my wisdom 10. So my perception is 11 or less.
Okay, Stinky Nook, you find a seed.
Ah. Right. Seed.
A seed.
That. Okay. Look over at the spring one. Do I see seedlings in the spring one?
Yeah, somewhere in it there would be seedlings, yes.
Okay. In that case, I shall... How far down in the earth was it?
Near the bottom of... It'd be like, see, halfway between your top blue line and your bottom blue line.
Okay.
So halfway down the hole, in the middle.
Can I see any other seeds there, or is there just this one? And is it a very small seed, or is it a large seed?
It's quite a large seed, and there's just the one.
Okay. I mean, I don't know much about seeds, except that things grow from them above ground. I mean, we tend to deal with spores below ground, but I've obviously come across them in apples and such like that I've been eating above ground. So,
yeah,
is it about the size of an apple seed, or a bit bigger?
No, much bigger.
Much bigger than an apple seed.
No, not much bigger. Let's say somewhere between like an acorn and an apple, something like that.
Okay.
So not really big.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, all right.
Sorry.
Boom. Well, drat. What's the temperature in here?
Same as it's been throughout this underground. So it's this underground temperature, and you're getting further every time you go into a new bit. It's always going down, so it's getting cooler. But there's not been anything drastic between where you were before you came through and the door closed and where you are now after the door is closed. There's not a drastic change. It's the same.
All right. Well, because I know the mushroom farms we normally put where it's a bit warmer. All right, I'm going to put the seed back into the hole and put the soil over the top of it again.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know whether this will work, but certainly with spores you add water. The only water I've got is some holy water.
Okay.
So I'm going to try pouring some holy water over the soil above the seed to see if that will cause it to grow at all. I mean, given that this is all magic here anyway, I'm expecting something strange to happen. But I'm going to try watering it. And just in case anything appears that shouldn't, because I know drow sometimes have very nasty instances of humour, I'm going to drink another of my healing potions.
Okay, so you step back. You're drinking a healing potion.
Yep.
Okay, so let me just see if I can do this as cinematically as possible.
And that's 2d8.
A little
13.
A little seedling, a little sprout comes up from the soil, and it grows at a magic rate. And a little miniature tree with little leaves on it grows up from the mound of earth like magic. It's not much taller than you, this tree, maybe twice your height.
Okay.
Very thin branches, very little baby leaves, a little thin trunk. It's still very small, young tree, but magically grows to that age within a few seconds in front of your eyes.
Yes, well, I am expecting magic. It's a shame we haven't got that elf here.
And I'm missing a detail. And as this tree sprouts up from the earth magically, one of the scenes on one of the walls lights up, and it dances around, and it starts almost animated, moving around, and you see the little seedlings grow into little trees.
Right. So would that be the spring one?
Yes.
Aha. When you said there was filigree on the doors, if I take a closer look, is it actually an ornamentation which has got something concealed within it, or is it just?
I'm afraid not. It just looks fancy. I'm afraid it looks fancy. That's as much as that is. Unfortunately, it's nothing more than that.
Okay. I don't know whether this will help, and it's going to be a wrench, but I shall reach into one of my pouches and pull out a kind of half-smoked cigar.
Yep.
Because fertilizer sometimes helps mushrooms, etc., grow. So, well, it always helps them grow. But I don't know whether this would actually. I will try breaking up the remains of this cigar reluctantly and sprinkle it over the soil around the base of the tree and dig it in a little bit, and then try pouring some more water over the soil.
So you're trying to use the contents of a mushroom cigar as fertilizer?
Yes.
I get you. Okay, it doesn't, when you pour the more water on, it doesn't do another magical growth, it just looks the same.
Okay. Have a look at the tree itself. Is there something within the tree that because I know you do get seeding bodies, etc., on mushroom farms.
Right. Okay.
I'm just wondering if there's anything that looks like it could be a fruiting body or something on this tree.
So no. It doesn't look like there's no. It doesn't have buds of fruit. No, that's what you mean, right? No. Not in this baby stage. It doesn't. No.
The question is, how do I get it from this baby stage to full grown? I mean, normally it'd be something like warmth that helps mushrooms grow.
I notice everybody's staying deathly quiet, all the other players. It's because for just to be funny, I gave them -10 and -20 on their XP for metagaming. A tiny little insubstantial amount, but just because it's funny, you know me, I'm funny. So,
yeah.
And I notice how quiet they're being right now because they're not in the room. Nice,
well, they're listening to this poor old deep gnome trying to figure out how to get a surface thing to grow.
It's brilliant.
I am properly engrossed. Like,
The
Water
thing is,
hasn't
the
done
thing is, I
it.
don't think it needs any help. I think he's worked out exactly what it needs to do already.
I've
Yes.
not. I'm clueless.
Well, I've got to try and get this tree to go through its seasons of growth. Now, it's grown up into a small sapling sort of thing. It needs to kind of grow to a much greater height. And I've tried fertilizing it with some mushroom compost. No, that didn't work. It doesn't need any more water. I'm at a loss what makes these things grow. I will go and have another look at the summer one and see if there's anything unusual about that particular picture or anything that's a major difference connected with the trees.
Okay, I don't need a perception check from you, David, then, because I would say that one thing that is a major difference is when you look at the sky in the scene, there's a big bright sun with a cloudless sky in the summer one. Whereas in other ones, there'd be no sun in the wintry scene. There'd be maybe just a little bit of sun behind some clouds in the spring scene, and probably no sun or very little sun in the autumn scene. But you see a big bright sun in the summer scene.
Oh dear. So it needs light to grow. Unfortunately, what's left of my lantern is in the pack on the bear. Now, thinks to himself. Right, actually, before I do this, I'm going to have a look at the autumn one and see what the difference is between the autumn one and the summer one.
All right.
Obviously, light seems to be what's needed to make it grow further.
Right.
The autumn one is coming to the into fruiting, etc. Are the trees bearing fruits in the autumn one?
You may see. I don't need any rules from you. You may see fruit, but it's definitely not a prominent feature of the picture. What I would say that is the big difference in that one between the autumn scene and the other ones is the leaves blowing away in the wind. Lots and lots of leaves blowing around in the scene. It's a scene of lots of leaves blowing.
Right, and then in the winter, is it kind of cold and icy and so on, or is it the leaves coming off?
Yes, plus snow.
So it's not so the leaves are all off in the winter one.
Yeah.
It's just showing it cold and icy.
And snowing.
I don't know how the heck I'm going to get it to snow. Right. Well, I think I can do the first two, or the second and the third one. Right. I am going to go back to the tree.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to use my change self ability to make myself look like a mining gnome with kind of the helmet on the lit helmet, so that I'm shining light on it from that with the change self. So I'm looking like a mining gnome with his helmet light to try and get it to grow.
This change self ability that you have is an illusion, is that right?
It's an illusion, yes.
So it is possible for you to put a lamp on a helmet like we picture. You know,
effectively, I'm making.
Yeah.
Yep. So I make if it makes me look like somebody. I can't make it look like a particular person, but I can make it look like a generic somebody, plus or minus a foot, and how it looks.
Yep.
So I'm trying to make myself look like a mining gnome with my lit helmet. Now, it won't provide much light, but it will look like it's providing.
Is there any role to use that ability, or is that automatic?
It's automatic. It's as far as people believing it, that's a different thing. Because it's an illusion and they get to saves, etc.
Okay, so you're using your ability. It's change self.
I'm going to try to use my change self ability to make it look like there's light beaming onto this tree.
Okay.
Don't know if it'll work. If not, I'll have to try something else.
When you do, the tree. Now let me just get in the GM layer, because the tree. Excuse me. Let me try and be as cinematic as possible here. Oh, sorry. It's here. So let me get rid of that one. And then the next one is here. The tree grows.
Right.
So, Louis cinematic then. So it grows and its leaves fill out and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's got a big thick trunk on it now. The tree looks several years old and it fills up most of the room. And you look over to the wall where the summer scene was and you see the sun kind of slightly glows. The beach scene that you saw, you see a little kind of shimmer of light on the water from the sun. Like, you know, it kind of animates, like I said before with the other one. This happens with the summer scene. The tree grows to full size and fills out all its leaves like that.
Righty-ho.
That was cinematic enough for you. I tried my best. It was terrible.
I am now going to feel very, very silly.
Right.
This 3-foot gnome is going to take off his kind of leather armor and pull off the jerkin underneath it.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks up at this tree that's now multiples of his height.
Yeah.
And he's going to start flapping the jerkin to try and create a wind to blow the leaves. I don't think this is going to work very well, but it's the only thing I can think of to try and make a wind.
Okay. So,
it is the thought that counts.
when you do,
yep.
you're so good. When you do, the tree, all the leaves start to go brown and start to fall off, and you see
dear.
The scene on the wall, and the next bit of the wall, and the third section of this wall, the quarter circle of it, the leaves scene starts to animate. The leaves start to move in the wind.
Okay. Do they all fall off the tree, or only some of them?
I would say only some of them at this point. Most of them.
Okay. How the heck do I get it to be cold? I mean, I try carrying on blowing wind. I don't think that's going to do it. I think the wind probably got it to autumn, but I will try a bit more and see if it can push it on to winter.
So you're going to keep flapping, just flap harder and harder?
I'm going to try flapping harder and harder. If need be, I'm going to have to try climbing the tree to get closer to some of the leaves that are still on there.
Okay, so, well, when you're still on the ground flapping away, unfortunately that doesn't make any more changes. That doesn't invoke the next reaction.
Okay.
So you're going to climb up and try and waft the leaves up. Are you shaking them? Are you going to shake the branches?
Well, if it's a case of getting the leaves off, then somehow I'm going to have to try and get the leaves off. But if it's a case of trying to make things cold, how could I do that? This is really pushing it. Okay, I take my boots and my socks off.
You're almost naked now. You just take your armor and your jerkin off.
I put my jerkin back on. I put my upper leather armor on. I'm going to take my boots off. I'm going to take my socks off because and I'm going to soak my socks in water.
Okay.
And then I'm going to hope that as they evaporate, they cool the earth down and try and make it cooler. And if that doesn't work, I'm probably going to have to try and climb the tree and pull all the leaves off.
So,
but I'm going to try and use the water evaporating to make things cooler.
And the only water you've got is holy water, right?
Yes, that's another vial of holy water gone.
So you're making a holy water soggy sock.
Yep.
Just to be clear.
Yep.
And what are you going to do with a holy water soggy sock?
I'm going to, the lowest branch, I'm going to try draping it over the branch so it's cooling the tree down.
Right, okay.
Okay. And then if need be, I'll kind of waft air at the sock to try and get it to evaporate further.
Okay. So you hang up this sock over a branch. This dripping,
I know.
dripping wet
Socks,
with holy water
Chris.
sock branch.
The other possibility is socks and Christmas, but I don't believe in Santa Claus, so that won't work.
The thing is, David, you've nailed it, eh? So all you need to do is work out how to make it cold. So I'll say, if you do that and then you waft long enough with your cold thing and it's evaporating and you're blasting around that cold air as it evaporates, if you do that long enough, it starts to slowly change, like a fire when you're trying to. You see the littlest spark of movement in the tree, so you start wafting harder and then you see.
I keep doing it.
Yeah. The little spot where the sock is hanging off, you see almost a little magical kind of frozen effect almost go through the tree, and then all of a sudden. Because the thing is, you nailed it, man. You nailed it. So we do you know what I mean? We have to. I mean, if you hadn't been so clever and nailed it so easily, I might have said, or another GM might have said, oh no, you're gonna have to come back with some spell, or the guys are gonna have to come back with some spell like frost or whatever. But you knew exactly what had to be done. You nailed it. So let me just get the last token, which I seem to have lost.
Oh dear.
Oh, no.
So I've now got soggy socks. I've got wrinkles all through my jerkin. I've wasted half a cigar.
But you did it, mate. Look. So,
David, that was so clever. I was so impressed. That's my first puzzle.
As the cold goes through the tree and all the last of the leaves hit the ground, the fourth section of the wall starts to animate, and you see the snow start to move. And the wind, like the last one, the wind blowing and the snow starts moving. This time you almost hear a noise. You can almost hear the wind.
My socks are going to be freezing cold as well.
And then, 2 seconds.
Yep.
The two doors spring open. Boom! I wasn't very cinematic with opening the doors there, but you did it. You see the guys on the other side of the door. You did it. The door swings open.
Mop my fevered brow.
And at this point, as the doors swing back open, the tree shrinks back down. It goes through the whole cycle that you just saw. It goes through the whole thing backwards and shrinks back down into the ground.
Back as a seed for the next poor sod that decides to come through here.
But the doors remain open.
Open, yes. Okay, I will kind of...
Hey, lad, says Danos.
Hi, boss. I think I managed to get the other door open.
Listen,
there's one crap.
So was I.
It's good.
Okay,
it's very
so where do we go, boss? Do we carry on?
You see in front of you, if you look through that other door, just much the same as you saw before. Now, you look down and you see again caverns going down in front of you, but this time, Snirfneblin,
Is it looking like home?
it almost looks like home, and you can almost smell something. Give me a perception check.
Mushrooms?
Mushrooms?
No, the thing is, no, you can definitely smell mushrooms. Give me a perception check for something else.
1 second.
This has got a penalty on it that I'm not telling you about, but tell me what you roll.
Okay, made it by 2.
Oh, right, okay, so. Alright, okay.
Well, if it's home, then we could well be...
The thing is...
Well, it might be Dwerger, might be Drow.
You get... You know, the thing is, you know, something inside you now tells you, Snirfneblin, you're now, once you go through that door, you're in the Underdark.
Well,
let's go. Can we go, Snirfneblin?
For a start, you know that. You suddenly, something tells you you are in, or that is the passage to the Underdark, but there's something else, and there's a feeling inside you, Snirfneblin, you, personally, your character, and it's a sense of something not good. I don't know how to describe it to you. You don't have any psychic abilities, but you've got this gut feeling. First of all, you got almost a smell, almost a sense, a feeling. I don't know, something of home, a memory, a dream, something, and then it was soured by this feeling. Like something came over you. You know when you're really anxious about something, you get sick in your stomach. Like
in that case, I will tell Darrow and the rest of the party that I think that this leads into the Underdark, but there's something not right. Yes, it's my home, but there's something there that's not right. It could be Drow, it could be Dwerga, it could be something else, but there's something not right. It's certainly not a gnome area. And given that
the thing is, you're saying that, but there's something about the feeling, the temperature, the smell. There's something about it that not just reminds you of the Underdark, Snirfneblin, but of home.
Of my city.
Of your home. Of not maybe your city, maybe just Snirfneblin settlements in general, but you get a real sense of home, not just of the Underdark, but a sense of home from there. Along with this nauseating feeling of anxiety as well.
I mean, well, the last I remember of home was when I found myself back there, and it had just been wrecked. It had been there were bodies everywhere from the Drow attack. So much though I would like to go, none of these people are natives of the Underdark, and I don't think they do well down there.
Darrow is a native of just above the Underdark.
Yes,
he's a native of the level in between the above ground and the Underdark. He's on that dwarven crust.
Yes, but the elves certainly wouldn't do well down here. I think the drow might even go for them first.
I would do fine.
You think?
Yeah.
Have you been studying the Underdark in between sessions? Have you? You know something I don't?
No. I just want to go.
Yeah, well, if you think we need to go in there, I'll come with you.
Well, what are we here for? As I understood it, we were tracing the path of the Dwerga, and it leads into the Underdark. There is no way that we can destroy the Underdark. All we can do is try and stop the Dwerga coming up from the Underdark. I'm not powerful enough to go and destroy the Drow who killed my city. And there's something not right about this area. I mean, it could be Drow, it could be something else, but there is something not right. It feels like home.
You smell... One of the smells you smell would be recognisable as the kind of mushrooms that Snirfneblin deep gnomes like farm at their houses. The kind of like window plants, those kinds of mushrooms. You recognise those smells, the smells of not necessarily your home, but home. These homely smells to a Snirfneblin. That's what you smell. These, and you get vibes from that. It's the temperature is right, the depth underground is right, and you just have a feeling.
Well, the Dwerga may have come through whatever Snirfneblin town there was here.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, perhaps we should just follow Bert's plan and just let him destroy the passageway.
Well, Bert, at this point, he's looked at all of you for instruction since you rescued him from, his coma or whatever. He's been more respectful to you, and he waits for instruction when you're down here. And this time he's looking at Snirfneblin, and he saw this door magically appear, and then he saw it spring open when Snirfneblin went in there. Half an hour later, it just sprung back open. Like, he's got a lot of respect for you, and he sees Snirfneblin looking and pondering, and he's looking at Snirfneblin now as if for inspiration or direction.
Well, we much though I would like to go and re-establish connections with my kind, I'm committed to a contract to Mistress Elise. And I if there is something down there that they need our help with, it could well be something major. Can we come back here after we've taken Mistress Elise and see then what we can do?
What just out of interest, what's the door on the other side like? Like, is it locked? Is it open?
It's
is
open.
it
They both sprung open.
okay?
And Snirfneblin standing staring down it.
Yeah.
It seems. I think
But not in
Bert's.
front of it.
Yeah, I think Bert's original suggestion was to block the way up from the Underdark, wasn't it? So if he were to destroy the passage from the temple through to this room, if he were to cave that in, that would stop them coming through here, which is, I think, his goal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, when there is talk of destroying the passage to the Underdark, there is some sort of feeling of kind of dread comes over you, Snirfneblin. Like you feel like.
I don't want to destroy the passage here.
But that's what Bert needs to do. But what I mean is that there's a feeling like you need to know, like what it is that's down there. You need to know. You've got this overwhelming urge to go down. So I'm saying, although you're talking about your contracts and decisions, I'm saying that you've got to consider your emotions here as well. Your character's emotions.
Pushing me, isn't he?
Your something, yeah. Is it Garl? Is Garl your god as well? Yeah, Garl is pushing you. Yes. Something is telling you that you need to know what's going on in here. Why do you feel like that's home, and why you cool? Okay.
In that case, if that's what I feel, then I will say to Darrow that I think there is something wrong here, and we need to discover what. My god is pushing me there. I can't ask you to come with me. I will go and look by myself, but
we will have a brief look. We will have a brief look, but we must return, and then later on, if you come to my home city, there will probably no routes down to the Underdark.
Okay. I'll sit everybody down and I will give them a brief description of the sort of perils that they can come up against. The Drow, well, both Drow and Snirfneblin and Dwergar are able to make themselves disappear.
We've seen this with the Dwergar.
Yes, need to be very careful and assume that there's people around that you can't see. So, watch out for surprises. Drow also often associate with spiders, and so it's not just at ground level you need to look out for. You also need to keep an eye above for ambushes. We have problems with Umber Hulks. Well, you've met Umber Hulks, you know what they're like.
Everything you fought around here is reeked of Underdark, isn't it?
Yes. There's also risks with the so-called cleanup crew, carrion crawlers, mold slimes.
Rust monsters.
It's a very dangerous place. Rust monsters. Well, that's why us scouts tend to deal with the that sort of thing, because leather armor and such like to protect the heavily armored gnomes.
If you can smell these things, they can't be far. We should only go a short distance.
Okay, so once I give them a briefing on the basic perils, I'll just emphasise it's very, very dangerous. Much more dangerous than above ground. Okay. But it's a lovely place. I shall cautiously step through and see what I can see on the far side.
Alright, I'll change maps for you then.
Of course, above ground we have wolves and bears and things like that, and snakes, so it's not entirely safe above ground.
Snirfneblin. This village of your kin has been utterly destroyed, and you have no doubt it is the work of the Drow. You see bodies strewn in the street and scavengers in the dark scatter as you approach. Houses have been blasted apart, blood stains stone and fungi alike. Death blankets the village in silence, and blood runs in rivulets over the stone ground beneath your feet.
Well, given that this is the second city or village of my kind that I've seen destroyed by the Drow, I just fall to my knees and cry. I failed my morale check, and I'm just overwhelmed.
Okay, you're overwhelmed with
So
grief
I
and
just
sadness.
fall. I fall to my knees. I start crying. I look at the devastation. And is the blood fresh or is it congealed?
No, it's congealed enough that it's not like a completely fresh scene. Like I said, you can still smell the faint smell of magic in the air. But yeah, the blood is like dried into the ground.
So the drow have killed more of my kin.
Yes. So I'm going to pop us.
And are there Dwerga footprints through this devastated area?
Make me a proficiency check for tracking while I drag us back to the other channel then.
So.
Right, guys, we're back after take 2. Appreciate your patience.
I'm having a look to see if I can see drow tracks. Sorry, Dwerga tracks through the. But no, I can't make anything out, unfortunately. I mean, if this is the route the Dwerga came, and there's nothing to say it isn't.
Anyone
I'm
else
wondering whether they were involved.
Does anyone else have tracking proficiencies?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, David, could you hold up Stinky Nook's 120 foot infravision thing?
Certainly. 1 second while I just put the measure on.
Thank you.
And shrink down.
Could I make an argument for being allowed a roll?
Um,
Even if I don't have it as a proficiency.
I'm going to give you a +3 on it because there's blood around. So blood, if there's blood through the, if there's tracks through blood, it would make it more easier. So would +3 make that a success? I notice you rolled a 16. And it says failure, David.
Yes, I did fail. My tracking proficiency is only 10 because my characteristic's not great, so I failed.
Still a fail then. Okay, now you don't find any Durgar tracks, right? You're holding that up for me. Let me do the reveal area. Ah, okay. So I can reveal all of this.
Wow.
So
that's the most I can see at the moment.
No, well.
Sorry, 120 to there.
Yeah, so like. This is awkward, but we're getting there. So where was the 120? Can you bring it up again, sorry?
Certainly.
Perfect. Right,
yep,
and move it round. Right. Can you move it round? To as far as you can, move it. I'm zoomed right in here and you zoom out. Right.
So that's the most I can see at the moment because of there, yes.
So yeah, so just like that's good enough really, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So that's pretty much what you see. In fact, that's probably give you a little bit too much. I'll cut a little bit off. You see something like that, right?
Okay. I will tell the party that as far as I can see, this entire village has been devastated by the drow. I recognise their handiwork. But it wasn't recent, or at least not in the last couple of days.
Not very
certainly.
Recently.
No.
So the Dwerga arrived later, or do you think they were allied with the drow?
Oh, I wouldn't put anything beyond them, but I don't know. But obviously, they came through this area, possibly with drow support.
The smell of magic that lingers in the air, Stinky Nook, gives you what I would say is like PTSD feelings from when your home was destroyed by drow. That's what makes you so certain it's drow. It's an almost sixth sense within you from all your senses, from the sight of it, the smell of it, memories, everything together. You already know it's drow. Without knowing.
All right, I move forward to that corner there and just have a look around the corner and see what I can see in the rest of the cavern.
All righty.
You think this is unconnected to the necromancer, or do you think it's in league with the drow?
Don't know.
I mean, this could be just completely disconnected, couldn't it? Just
it
coincidence.
Could, yes, but this is the route up, isn't it? I think it's probably unconnected with the necromancer, but it's not unconnected with the Dwerger. They must have come through this area.
Yes, I think you're right there, but
Yeah.
it could be coincidental that there was a necromancer at the ground level and Dwerger below ground.
You mean like that he was just happened to be coming down here for somebody to work with?
Well, they certainly weren't gnome zombies.
Yeah,
they were too tall. All right. I return to Darrow and say, if nothing else, I must see to my people.
How do you?
If I find an area of loose rocks, if I can carry the bodies there and then pull the cave wall down on them just to protect the bodies.
So what you want to do? Just find a spot where you can. Okay.
Yes. So first,
we can help you.
Well, thank you, but let me just check and make sure there is nothing that shouldn't be here. Let me scout. Okay. So so from that point, I will try moving silently and in shadows down here and around the perimeter of the lake, just to check: is there another entrance visible that the Dwerger would have come through?
Right. So
there must be another entrance.
when you get to here, you see something. So.
Yep.
When you get to here, you see an entrance here. You see what I've done? There's just been a map, but they didn't have an entrance. I've just grabbed a token of a hole and moved it onto the map layer.
Okay, fine.
So there's an entrance there. But when you get to this area, you hear a voice almost in your head. It's speaking in Snirfneblin. It says, "Stop, gnome. Stop, gnome.
I stop.
Stop, gnome.
I stop.
You pay tribute to me, gnome." And then out of one of these mushroom huts, something comes out.
Now.
Okay, so I've put a token on the map, but picked the tokens wrong, right? I've used the token from another monster because I don't have the token. Picture this thing as having 3 eyes and 3 arms at the whatever the angle is. It's symmetrical. 3 mouths, no, 1 big mouth, 3 big flailing arms with big claws on the end of it, and 3 big eyes at the. What is it? Is it 90, 90, 90 that makes up 360?
180.
No, there's 3 of them. 360 divided into 3.
120.
120. Sorry, yeah. At increments of 120 degrees, there's an arm, and then offsetted increments of 120 degrees, there's an eye above it, and above that is 1 big mouth. And you hear this voice almost inside your head, speaking your language in a soothing, almost voice, and it says, "Stop, gnome. You will pay tribute."
We would have been. I would say we would have been our usual 50 or so feet behind.
That's fine. I'll let you move your tokens to something like 50 feet behind them then.
Right. Can we measure?
Yes.
Fuck, I'm sorry, I was on mute, I'm sorry. I was saying, did somebody want me to get a measurer? I wasn't just...
There you go. That's about 50 feet behind them, just this kind of area.
So, bottom of the steps.
Yes,
there.
okay.
Okay.
Like here?
Mm-hmm.
I stop, turn, bow politely, and ask, "Were you here when my people were destroyed?"
No.
Where's we bear?
I'm only here to feed, and you will feed me. You will pay tribute. Stop. Tell your friends to stop. Go no further. Tell them.
Hold. Darrow, wait.
I only come here to feed, but there's nothing much to eat. But you, I look at you and I know you can feed me. You'll pay tribute.
Can we see this thing, or are we too far away?
Depending on your infravision, how good it is, you see, and it's like big. It's like, I've not got the monster manual up right now. Let me get up actually so that I can see exactly how tall the thing is.
Obviously, as a player, I know what it is.
Yeah, I think you do.
But does Darrow?
I'm going to do a little description here. Its body is made of a pebbly stone-like material. It has a large, powerful mouth on top of its head with 3 long arms tipped with sharp talons, symmetrically positioned every 120 degrees around it. Between the arms are large, stone-lidded eyes that see in all directions. At its base are 3 thick, short legs, each directly beneath an eye. The whole body is designed... Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so you don't need to know that. Size is... Oh, no, it's only about 5 feet tall, I think. It's not a huge thing.
Yes.
Say yes. That's a -5 on your experience points. That yes was a metagaming yes. See, I've got a picture up here that I'm looking at, but I don't have a way to show it to stream. Unless I do it real quick. Nah, I can add it to the VOD later.
Well,
It's fine.
still describe it to us, because I don't know what it is.
Well, I'm describing it. It's 3 short, stumpy legs, and then
I don't know what it is. I think
Okay.
I know,
No,
but as far as Schninkenuk is concerned, I believe it is one of the creatures of the Underdark, which either eats rock or gems or metals.
Well, I'm looking at the picture.
And so I'll bow politely again and ask what it is seeking.
Okay, I'll whisper to you, Tammy, in Discord, the name of it, so you can look at the picture at least. So if you look in Purple Worm in the monster manual, and then look at this monster's name, you'll get to see a picture of it. I'm going to put it up on the screen later for the video for YouTube. But if you look up this, that's what it looks like. You'll see the picture.
Thank you.
No problem.
Okay.
The rest of you all know what it is. You know what it looks like. But the guys that are looking at it, watching us, if you see the thing that I've got there, if you picture just that same token, it being 3 instead of 4 arms, and it's got 3 eyes round it. Another eye, another eye. And the big mouth is at the top, actually. So picture the mouth is at the top, and then it's got 3 arms like that. So I've used a slightly similar token just because I didn't have the exact one. He says, yeah, stop, gnome. Tell your friends to stop. Just pay me food, tribute, and you can go about your business. I know what happened here. I know who you are. Well, I know these are your kin. I can see the pain in your eyes. Just feed me, pay tribute, and move on. We have no quarrel here. I'm not your enemy.
I mean, it's not looking hostile to our eyes, is it? It's just standing there.
Standing there.
No.
One
of the eyes is looking right at you. So picture it having 3 eyes. One of them pointing directly at Snirfneblin. One of them is pointing directly at you, and one of them is pointing back here. Okay.
Okay. I will reach into my pouch and pull out some gems. I will reach into my sheath and pull out my longsword and hold them out and say, "What is it that you seek?"
It looks, and it moves just slightly, turns around slightly, and it looks at the gems.
Okay, in that case, I empty my pouch in front of it.
Everything you've got?
There's 350 gold pieces worth of gems.
Okay. 1 second. Sorry. He says, this is good, no? This is good. Thank you. And he shuffles back away into this mushroom hut.
Okay. I put my longsword back in my sheath and say to Darrow that it's all right. We can move on now. Leave it in peace. And carry on, and just check the northern edge of the cavern to make sure there's no other exits.
Yep. Just the one that I mentioned.
Okay, so there's no other exits. Okay, so in that case...
let me just reveal my map here, sorry. I'm a little bit behind you there.
Okay. And...
So the whole area is much the same, surrounded by these stalagmites, stalactites, these huge fungi. There is a kind of lake in the middle. You'd recognise it as a miniature underground lake. An Underdark pond, whatever you want to call it. You've probably got a proper Underdark word for it.
Yeah. Well, it's obviously not got anything too hostile in it, otherwise they wouldn't have built so close to the edge, so it's probably just got food creatures in it. Looking at it, that might be the best spot in the top left-hand corner to carry the bodies to, because
And the plan was to just pull down some rocks from the wall on top of them and bury them.
exactly, yes, and effectively build a cairn over them with the rocks.
Okay.
So I'll choose the easiest area to do that.
Okay, right. Without going into too much detail and being too macabre, then there's quite a lot of bodies that take you quite a while. So are the guys helping you with the actual haulage of bodies?
Yes,
Yeah,
help.
yeah. We have the bear there too, and he has a harness, whether that's for pulling brick or for pulling bodies.
Well, if you try to strap a dead body to him, he's going to be reluctant at first, but like we always say, he's smarter than the average bear, and he looks at Sninky Nook and then he looks at these bodies that you're moving, and he gets it.
He'll sense his pain as well. Like he'll sense how upset he is.
Absolutely, he does. Absolutely does. This bear, like we keep saying, he's smarter than the average bear. He has empathy. He has knowledge and understanding. He's clever. So yeah, he's going to help you with that if you want.
Okay. I will ask if the party could post sentries here on this entrance, just to make sure we're not caught unawares by anyone coming in from the outside. And
I can do that. I can do that if you want, because I don't know practically how much help I would be with like big stuff. I'm quite little, but I'm not like strong.
But remember, Kiara, when we look at your stats, if you look at your strength, it's more than 9, isn't it? Like anything 9 or above is like is like we're talking about heroes when we talk about these stats. Anything 9 or above is like good. Like if you've got a 9 or above intelligence, you're very intelligent. If you've got a 9 or above strength, you're very strong. Stronger than the average person, anyway.
Oh right.
Oh, okay.
And bear in mind you're talking about gnomes. Mm-hmm. We're only about 3 foot full grown, and there's kind of women and children here as well.
Oh my god, that's even sadder.
We're talking about bodies the size of toddlers.
Yes.
Oh, you had to make it even more sad by saying that. Nice comparison, Peter, as if this wasn't grim enough. Thank you.
I was genuinely feeling a bit like, so sad, and then I started thinking about these little gnomes.
Well, imagine how small a child's gnome's body is.
Oh my goodness, I'll definitely stay and help with the bodies then, because I feel like that's something that should be done with care.
Okay. While we're doing this, I will keep a running total in my head. Does it? I'm not just doing this to count how many casualties there have been. It's also a case of I know the sort of balance that you'd get between the different ages and sexes. Does it look to me that there is an imbalance? In other words, the drow may have taken prisoners, or have they just come in and killed everybody?
Seems like there's more women and children. Like all the women and children are here. And there's not many men left, and maybe the men that are here are like armed, and like there's some, looks like everybody that was here was fighting, men-wise, and the rest of them are no longer here.
So it looks like they've probably taken the menfolk as captives to for slave labour, or whatever else the drow do.
There are a few adult male Snirfneblin bodies around, but there seem to be a lack of them. Whereas the right proportionate for a village. There's the right proportionate number of elderly ones of women.
Yeah. So they take. Okay, I'll tell the others that's what they seem to have done.
How old do the bodies seem?
Not very. Like, I mean, you're not an expert in how long it. I mean, who's the biggest expert in how long a body takes to decompose?
You mean
you guys? Yeah.
I would have thought that was a priest.
As a priest, yeah. Because of knowing about resurrection and things like that, yes. So I'd say you and Eleanor's knowledge of that would be quite good. And I don't think I'm going to need a roll for you. You're going to... These bodies are days old. No more than days. I'm no forensic expert. I don't know the exact details of how long things take to decompose and stuff. Whether that means they're still a bit bloated, or there's still a bit colour to the skin, or what, I don't know. Because remember, we're talking about a made-up race as well, where the skin is a different colour, etc. It's blue or whatever, grey. So But yeah, you can tell that they're not old. They're not like, they're not skeletons. Do you know what I mean? They're still bodies.
Yeah.
But also, they're days, not hours. So whoever did this will be
Can we
well
tell
aware.
how do they look like how they've died? Like, are they injured? Are they like cut? Are they like whole bodies but just dead?
To complete Darrow's one first, then they are. You can definitely tell that they're days and not hours, and I would say you're quite certain that they're days and not weeks. And for your question, Kiara, some of them have wounds that look like they would be cut wounds, stab wounds. Some of them are burned. Some of them have what look like they could be acid burns. Some of them have a missing limb. Some of them look like they have no injury at all, yet they're lying dead.
One thing, I don't know whether your drow are different, but having just been doing modules fighting drow, one of their distinctive weapons is a hand crossbow.
Yes, okay, good point, Peter. And you would find, many of them would be punctured by small crossbow bolts. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up, because I might have forgot about that. That is their signature weapon. And my drow are typical. Everything in my game is typical and stereotypical, so...
Fair enough.
It's a trope, the whole thing.
Okay. So we're probably going to spend most of the day building a cairn and moving the bodies and then building a cairn over them.
Like we say, the bodies don't take much lifting for you because of the size of them.
Well, for them maybe.
Yeah.
For me.
A lot. Well, even for you, because you seem to see it's a lot of women, a lot of children, a lot elderly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's Snirfneblin. It's recognisable. These are not gnomes. These are Snirfneblin. This is your actual, not just your race, your sub-race. These could be your distant cousins.
Yeah. Does it seem a rich village, or does it seem one that's been on the edge of, it's poor and it's just living on the edge?
It's small, and it looks like they just live around a kind of small, self-contained mushroom farm and lake.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see in fact, you would see slaughtered animals as well, the kind of animals that people that Snirfneblin keep domestically, like in their gardens.
Yeah, beetles.
So like humans would have sheep and pigs in their gardens, and you've got beetles. Mm-hmm. You're going to see them, and they'll all just be slaughtered as well.
Yeah. Okay, it looks like the drow just decided to wipe out the village and take the menfolk away.
It's a grisly scene.
Okay. All right. I mean, if I can find any of the mushroom homes that might have been had a shrine to Garlin or one of the other gods that this village worshipped, I will move some of the holy items over to the cairn and just say a prayer to Garl.
Okay, you'll find... Sorry, somebody's about to say something. Go ahead before I do.
I was going to say that Darrow would say a prayer as well, hoping that, for Barracksram to intercede with the gnomish gods on behalf of these poor souls, sort of thing.
Okay, very nice. Okay.
Okay. I thank my fellow party members for all their help, and I'm in your debt eternally.
Now let's say that the Ropar, because I need to move the Ropar first. So, not Ropar, the Zorn. It's called a Zorn, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm saying Ropar. Maybe it's a Ropar token I'm using. But anyway.
Yeah, well, you mentioned stalagmites. We'll have to eye them particularly carefully.
So he moves on. I've moved him to a different... I'll keep him there. He moves on to a different one because this one would have been the temple, this biggest one.
Yeah, okay.
So I've moved him on. You'll see him, he comes out and he shuffles out and he just moves past you and he looks at you with his one eye on each side and he shuffles past you with this big scary looking thing, but he goes by totally calmly and peacefully and he moves on to this next biggest mushroom hut here.
Okay.
And when you have a look in this one, you'll see that this is the one that has got a little altar, because mostly everything's been wrecked, and anything of value has been taken from any of the homes. But you find this one, they'll have left they'll have trashed the altar, kicked the altar down, and whatever it is. But any holy items or any relic or anything like that, they've just left it alone. They're not interested.
Okay. In that case, I will take them over and put them near the cairn and just say some prayers there. It's all I can do.
So would you say...
I'm not a priest.
Yeah, but you were saying that your first god that you would say a prayer to would be to Garl Glittergold.
Yeah.
Glittergold, and he's the main god of gnomes, correct?
That's my understanding.
Yes. Yeah. I'm just using that same classic old pantheon. So if that's your god, then that's fine. You probably find a holy item to him within this temple.
Okay. Fair enough. In that case, I will put that there and ask him to keep these poor souls under his protection and help them on to where they are to go next.
Okay.
And his aid in bringing revenge and death and destruction to the drow who caused this, and in rescuing the poor souls who have been captured. But that's personal. That's just me.
Okay. So you're burying them up here still.
Yeah. Well, that does seem to be the logical place. It's a closed off corner, and so there's plenty of space to put the bodies in here, and the walls here can then be just pulled down.
Okay. Well, within the first couple of minutes, you'll notice this big three-eyed, three-armed monster thing is eventually going to move on. Right? I'm going to bring him up to this layer, just so you guys see him move on. And he goes away back down this hole.
Okay.
Moves past you all peacefully and goes away.
Okay. There's been too much death here.
Well, he's, like you said, he came to feed and there was no food. And you've paid him tribute and now he's away.
Well, if he wanted my sword, I'd have given him my sword.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Right. Well, I'm in two minds. I will explain to Darrow what my thoughts about the menfolk being captured and taken away by the drow, and am I feeling a push from Garl to go deeper in?
Not as much as you're feeling.
Okay.
No. In fact, no. Not. You got an overwhelming urge to see what was here because you almost smelt the death. Basically, that's what I was trying to hint at.
Yeah.
But no, if you've got any gut feeling that you want me to describe, it's a gut feeling that you need to get away from here now. After you've seen all this, and then you're personally going to move the bodies as well as asking your comrades to do it with you.
Yes. Well, I'm going to lead the way in doing it. Yes.
I'm going to try and do as many as I can so that he doesn't have to do too many, or at least do as many of the babies of them as I can.
That's very sympathetic of you. Very kind.
Okay. And when we've pulled the stone down, then I'll say prayers, and then I'll say to everybody that I think the drow have captured the menfolk just as they captured them from my home city and taken them away. But I don't think we are powerful enough to take on a drow army. And smelling the magics here, drow magics are powerful.
You're still smelling the magics several days after the massacre.
Yeah. And you know, well, what's worse is Snirfneblin have partial immunity, so drow normally use just sheer numbers to take us out. So the fact that they were using magics as well as this they were obviously a pretty powerful army.
Well, Peter brought up.
I mean, when we get powerful, when I get powerful enough, and I can raise an army, I will be taking our revenge.
You know where to come back. Well, Peter brought up the hand crossbow bolts. I would say that when you find a body that's been killed by a hand crossbow, it's got a lot of bolts in it.
Yeah.
I think you could take a guess that they were overwhelmed with numbers here.
Yeah. So, much though I'd like to go and try and free my brethren, I don't think we can. We would die.
Yes, as much as I would like to fight the Dark Elves, I feel that I suppose we must continue with our original duties and quest.
We'll come back. We'll come back stronger, and we'll kill them all because this is disgusting.
This is the second.
I'm so filled with hatred for them right now. It's unreal.
Yeah. Well,
And this is
drow
the
are evil.
And this is the second time I've had to abandon the Dwager.
The second time you've had to let them go. Bert at this point is going to kneel down. He's going to walk up to you, Stinkynook, and just kneel down in front of you and put his hands. Get down to your level and put his hands on his put his hands on his shoulders, and he's not going to say anything. He just looks into your eyes.
Yep.
And he just, again still doesn't say anything, and he's just trying to be sympathetic, and he sees that some of these bodies are children and women and elderly, and he as well, he'll for all the NPCs that are here, for Eleonora as well, for Carnath as well, they're all going to do their best to try and take it all away from you, to not let you have to pick up any elderly ones or babies or.
I had to do it myself in my home city. There was no one to help. But having to do it again, it is hard.
Bert's going to put his hand on his shoulder, and he's got his hands on his shoulder. He's going to start pulling you down and say, just sit, just let us do this. Just sit, take a seat. Just take a minute, take a rest. Let us do this.
No, it is my duty. They are my people. I'm strong enough to do this. I wept first, but I must do this.
Right, and at this point he takes his hand off his shoulders and he'll reach out his hand to you as if somebody that's lying down and wants you to pick them up. They'll reach their hand out, even though you're at the same level. He'll reach their hand out.
Yep. Okay.
So he gives you the gesture, like as if
help him up.
Okay,
help
so
him up.
Even though you're pulling him horizontally, you help him up to his feet.
Yep.
And he says, right, let's do this. The sooner we get out of here, the sooner we can shut this place down. Stinkynook, I'm sorry about this. And he runs off and he picks up a body and he'll say, where do you want them? We're going to put them up here, right?
Yes. So, okay. I will lay them out and make sure that they are laid respectfully, and then I'll talk to Darrow about pulling the walls down. A dwarf and a gnome together, we should be able to manage this.
Well, I don't know. You've seen many miners, some undead miners in between here and above ground. So, did you pick up any pickaxes at any point, or have you got anything that's?
If need be, we can go back and get some, just to pull it down. But certainly there should be some around here anyway.
I'm sure you would find, if you take a look around, you're going to find simple tools like picks and spades, shovels, whatever you need. So I would say it takes you a couple hours. It's you can see from how many mushroom huts are around, it's a fair-sized village.
Yes.
So it'll take you even between, how many of you? There's 8 or 9 of you. Maybe maximum 2 hours, I would say, because you've got the help of the bear to move them around.
Yep.
And that's for everything. That's for moving all the bodies, because that's not going to take long with these little bodies. But that's for picking at the wall, pulling down some rocks and making a big enough cairn to cover them all as well. I'd say 2 hours.
Thank you.
So Bert looks at you now, Darrow. Let's say a couple hours pass, you buried some bodies. Bert looks at you now, Darrow. So, we've seen enough, haven't we? It only gets darker from here, right? And he turns to Stinkynook at this point. It only gets darker from here, eh?
Yes, the Underdark is a dangerous place.
Let's go home, boys and girls.
And we have to we've got a journey to make tomorrow.
Let's go home, boys and girls.
And you can use your miners to do whatever to try and block the way up.
At this point, Bert will just sigh deeply and start walking.
Okay.
Let's go, boys.
See whether the doors magically close behind us at the tree room.
Okay, so I'll pop you onto that map next then. Because now, what order do you walk into this room in? Your normal order.
Sneaking up will suggest once we're going back into that room that we hold hands and move as a group.
Okay.
Just in case there is another puzzle and it closes after the first one.
Okay.
So
Well, I'll go last in so I can have a hand on the bear. So I'll hold last hand in the chain.
If we kind of form a ring around the bear holding hands and just walk forward with the bear in the middle.
We definitely
will we all fit through the doorway like that though?
Sorry, Tammy?
Will we all fit through a doorway like that?
You're not fit through a doorway like that, no.
Nah, that's what I'm...
drat.
Well, you've explained what you did.
Yes, there's no saying it'll be the same. I don't think I can make light shine now. I've used up my illusion for the day.
Bert pulls his little...
Well, we've got tinder boxes and things.
Bert shows you his necklace, remember? It was made out of the holy symbol. That's now a pendant of... What's the spell?
Light.
Everlasting light?
Continual
light?
Yes.
He's got that now.
I think we all had one, didn't we?
No.
No, it was just one.
No.
The high priest made it for Bert. The high priest made it for the sheriff himself.
Oh, right, yes, because he can't see in the dark.
Yeah, he's the only one of you that can't see in the dark.
Okay.
So, if you stay close enough together, the door will close after the last one of you comes through.
Right.
So you come through, the door closes again, and you see in front of you, which is now this side, another door. This time the picture's different. The scene is the same. You've got a patch of earth, a mound of earth on the floor, but this time the scenes look different. And Snakey, this time you recognise it so much easier because it looks like the same puzzle, but with mushrooms, but with Underdark scenes.
For fungi, normally the first thing you do is, all right, take my my armor off and is it darkness for the first one?
No, making it darker around the earth doesn't do anything.
Okay, well I'll try some. Well, do you want to try some of your normal water, or shall I try some more holy water?
Try some water. Ordinary water.
So, Darrow, you're going to pour some water on it.
Yes.
If you're going to pour it on, Darrow, then you may have to do everything else. I don't know how this works.
When you pour water on the mound of earth, Darrow, one of the scenes, one of the four walls, seems to animate and move, and a little mushroom grows up from the ground. Just a little bit of normal human-sized mushroom, real-world-sized mushroom, grows up from the ground.
Ooh, that's a wonder.
Yes, I said it was magic.
It's a magic mushroom.
I would be very, very cautious about trying to smoke that.
No, definitely.
Yeah, this is silly. You eat it.
Or eating it, yeah.
Look at the second stage of growth. What in the Underdark cycle seems to be that? Is that darkness, or is it radiating heat?
It's hard to describe for me where heat comes from in the Underdark, whether it's from big patches of algae in lakes or from,
some of the rocks radiate.
Yeah.
Heat.
Okay, so that's what it would be then. So the kind of rocks or algae patches or just areas of civilization that make it warmer in the Underdark, you're going to see some kind of the image. You already know the theme. You're looking for it.
Yes.
So you find it, yes.
Yes. So I'll explain to the others, and it needs to be heat of some kind, radiating heat. So I mean, a lantern radiates heat. So it would be the heat part of it rather than the light part of it.
There you go.
Yeah, lighting a tinder box, and that's a flame.
Okay. As the flame goes near the little mushroom suddenly you have to jump back, Darrow, as the little mushroom grows. I've not got a token actually ready for this, but the little mushroom grows into a giant mushroom, something like the size of the tree that was here earlier that you saw, Sninkinook.
Yep. And
suddenly you're very cramped in the room, all of you, because it fills up a lot of the room. It's not a big room. There's quite a lot of you in here, so yeah, it's quite cramped in here, and most of this room is taken up by a big giant mushroom now.
Okay. And the next stage, looking at the wall for a mushroom, it's probably the underside developing fruiting bodies, I would guess. And that it comes with time, but it also comes with
that wasn't a hint. I was mouth dusting my desk.
Yes.
Well, with the
you don't tend to get much wind in the Underdark.
Yeah. In the forests, they usually grow on rotting wood and that sort of thing.
Wetness.
And the spores are distributed by the wind above ground. I don't know about under the ground.
Well,
it doesn't.
They just burst and spread, and they're carried by creatures and such like. So I'll try reaching up underneath it and see if I can feel the spores there and try and burst some of the pods.
You do. You feel the spores and you can burst them.
Okay. And I will catch some of the spores as they burst, and then I shall take them down and kind of keep my hands closed and just burrow my hand into the earth and then open it below the ground and then close the earth back over the top. And as far as
you do that,
yep.
As you do that, all of a sudden, the mushroom. It's not maybe as if it was some wind, but as if something gave it a little bump or something, and suddenly all these spores you see just go, and they all fall and drop to the ground.
Yep.
And the third image on the wall is something like that happening. A little animation of something like that happening on the image on the third wall.
Right. And now it's reaching the end of its life cycle. It would start to perish and shrivel, and that's generally just time passing. So, and also desiccation as the moisture leaves it. So, look on the last one and see, is it just shriveling in on itself?
Yep, it's just shriveling, and I guess. If anything, it does look like a colder scene, like the stalagmites. Some of the stalagmites are icicles, or the frozen the lake in the scene is a frozen lake. So it is still a winter scene, you see, an Underdark winter scene.
And my socks have vanished.
We can
have a look on the floor. Are my socks anywhere on the floor, or have they just vanished with the tree?
Your socks didn't vanish. When the tree vanished, your socks would have dropped to the floor. Your wet socks are there on the floor.
Okay, in that case, could one of you lift me up to the top of the mushroom so I can put my socks on there? If you just douse them with a bit of water first, we'll put the socks on there, and then I shall kind of wave my jerkin to try and make it cold again and evaporate.
We can all wave things at it. Or we can all find something to
fan with. Lift it up, then there are birds that are just one in the party.
Yep.
As you 1 second. Tammy, can you go and push to talk? Because we're hearing everything gurgle through you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Just because everything's got, I'll check to it was it's all gurgling back through you. So as you do the same things you did before, you climb up onto the mushroom with this wet sock, and you're all going to start fan at this time to try and get some condensation and some coldness moving into the mushroom.
Yep.
Okay, so it'll take less time this time. We underestimated how long it would have took last time. It would have took you a little bit of graft to do it last time, wafting and making it cold. This time it'll take less time because the rest of you are doing it, but it's the same thing. The scene on the wall changes, it shifts around, animates slightly, and this time the mushroom just shrivels up and disappears into the ground, and both the doors ping open again.
I was thinking we might have to fertilise it. I was going to. So I know what we usually it said that you shovel onto mushrooms, but
Yeah.
It was all.
I thought we might have to find. I know what bears do in the woods. We were going to have to find out whether they do it in the Underdark.
Nah, all the same things, all the same triggers did it. It was the same puzzle. It was just with a mushroom instead of a tree.
Yep. Okay. Well, I shall recover my socks. They need drying before I'll put them on again. I'll recover them.
Okay. They're very cold.
Oh yes.
So there's no more business for tonight anyway. We're going somewhere to rest for the night, aren't we?
Yep.
Okay, well.
Yeah, I reckon so.
So Bert will thank you all for your service and says, come and see me before you leave. Whenever you leave, whether it's first thing in the morning, lunchtime, today, tomorrow, whenever you leave, please come and see me again before you leave.
Will do.
Yeah, you'll find me in my office.
Yeah, I think the plan is to leave as early as possible in the morning, but we should check with Mistress Elise as to when she wants to leave.
Before we leave, Bert, what's being done about the 3 deeds? Because if you remember, we found the 3 deeds to the mines. Personally, I think those should be handed over to the city authorities.
They have been. I mean, you already gave them to him, didn't you?
I didn't think so.
Oh, right, okay.
They were in the chest of gems to keep them safe.
That's right. Okay, so he'll say, yeah, well, we'll I guess, again, like we did the first time, we'll sell the 3 of them and give the money to the town however we need to. There's men out of jobs here. We're going to have to do something. I mean, last time we gave it to the widows of the accident in the first mine, but this time we've got men out of jobs. We're going to have to do something. Maybe we...
Well, be careful who you sell it to this time.
Yeah, we will.
Okay.
We're being very careful with everything around here these days, my friend.
Are any of the stuff we took off the Duergar magic, like the Chief's Warhammer?
No, it doesn't actually detect magic.
Okay.
You know, you can, after doing a detect magic, you can see that it is just... I mean, if somebody got a detect magic ready to cast it...
Might have to do it first thing tomorrow.
Yeah, you might have to do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll answer that question tomorrow.
Okay.
What do you want to do then? Anything else for tonight?
Get something to eat, and I shall go.
How are people for hit points?
I don't have tokens up. I'll pull tokens up. Doesn't take long.
4 down, I believe, or is it 5 down?
I'm fully healed.
4 down.
So, oh nice. Remember before Tammy, we were discussing Kiara doesn't she now has she doesn't have a 3rd level slot. That's next level.
Mhm.
Do you have any 3rd level spells? Do you own any? Is there any written in your book, or do you have any scrolls? Because even though you can't use them yet, I want to know if you have any.
Why is my token not doing what I want to? Hold on, give me 2 seconds. I do have.
No problem.
When I put this up again. Well, character sheet. So, I have.
I don't think you do. I think you've only got
No.
2nd.
I've got no. Do you know? I've got confused with having 3 spell slots and having a 3rd level spell.
So you don't actually have anything.
No, because a lot of mine that I got, I had bought. That's why.
It's just with being with near a wizard store. I was just interested in what you've got and what you haven't.
Would
I
he
would
have?
say, spells wise, I reckon that between Eleanor and Darrow, there's enough to cure Undermacar up and to do the stack magic.
All right, go ahead and do that then. Roll the cure light wounds and the detect magic.
So it'll be a second level cure for
cure moderate
Eleanor.
wounds. Okay, so roll that then. Remember, no XP for that because it's out of any kind of combat or danger. The detect magic will not detect magic on any new items. Just again, it'll show up on the only items you don't have identified are a ring with a blood drop on it, a red gem in the shape of a blood drop or teardrop, a ring with 3 eyes on it, a wand that the end of it looks kind of like a gem that's a teardrop, and a wand where the end of it's a staff.
So,
Sorry, a staff where the top of it is a skull. Sorry, I'm reading the wrong line.
so Eleanor's cure would give Undermacar 3 points back, and he presumably gets another point back overnight.
Yeah, if you guys are sleeping in the bed and all that jazz, yeah.
Yeah, well, we are.
Okay, yeah. So we will get another one back.
Right, so thank you.
I don't have another 3rd level spell. What I do have is armor, which is a 3rd level on a scroll.
Okay, so when you get that capacity,
Hold on. Armor is the 1st level spell.
what you have is armor on a scroll at a 3rd level. The priest that wrote the wizard that wrote the scroll has wrote it at a 3rd level. Because scrolls work, they're cast at the level of the wizard that wrote the scroll at the time. Correct, gentlemen?
Yes, and unless
it's a level 3 armor scroll. So that is a scroll of armor, and when it works as if cast by someone that is that level of caster.
Can I ask? I'm running out of room in my spell book. Is it possible to get another one? Is that the sort of thing that I might be able to get at Alminer's Tower?
Well, it's not open at this time of night.
Well, no, I mean in the morning.
You've spent enough time in and out of this town to know that it's the place that sells things like that. Yeah.
Because I will need to get one of those because I've almost filled this one, and I want to get some more spells sometime.
And if it one's not available there or too expensive, Cornaith can make one from the baby ingredients, can't he?
Cornaith has all the proficiencies to make spell books.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if he could say what he needs, perhaps again from Alminer's Tower, and how much it will cost him, then I'll happily reimburse him.
So,
all right, we're still. I mean, where are you? Let's say you're at the tavern now. Like, we're still in the night. We've not rested. But where do you want to say you are at the moment, guys?
Where would we go first?
It's not of huge importance, but Bert would have went away back to the Kingsguard.
we've gone to the hotel where most of us are staying. The inn where most of us are staying.
Would you take Charlemagne? Would you take Charlemagne to the stables?
Maybe just to. Are we? Like, am I going to be staying long, or are guys wanting to be going to their bed soon? Because we're probably just going to find somewhere chill outside the stables to camp.
Well, it's quite late at night now.
Yeah, well, we're just going to go to the stables then, and we'll find somewhere outside that we can just lay out bedrolls.
We spot by the river.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you find yourself in town in the morning. Elisa's there at breakfast. She's eating. So.
Well, yes. So I'm sure we have a breakfast before we set off.
All free.
Set us up for the day.
Remember, your room last night was free. Your breakfast here is free. You don't pay for anything here. It was all part of the deal that was made with the mayor and the sheriff for getting you to save their town, basically.
What's on offer for breakfast?
Do I have a note of that? What this place serves, if it's got specials? Because I made a note of that for some of the places.
This is important, I feel.
I didn't hear, so it's coming off the top of my head. It'll be, you You'll have breakfast options will be things like oats, hot oats, hot porridge, with milk and with honey, fruit. There will be bacon and sausages and fried bread and all those things. That'll be your kind of options for breakfast.
Okay.
Yeah, bacon, sausages, mushrooms, eggs. The typical fried breakfast. There will be bread, there will be fruit, there will be porridge.
There will be piling his plate high and hoping that he can take it easy on the wagon today.
Okay, so, when they bring out your food, so you're ordering the fried breakfast, Darrow. When they bring it out, your plate is like double what anybody else in the place has ordered it is. It looks like they've given you massively special treatment, and it's a huge, huge plate of food. 12 rashers of bacon, 4 eggs, 40 fried mushrooms, 6 sausages, you know what I mean? Like a big, big, big breakfast. Anybody else?
I think I should just have some bread and fruit and some cheese, I think. And,
yeah, very nice. Very healthy, very healthy.
Kiara will have a big bowl of hot oats and a hot cup of something first, and then a plate of sausages and bacon and eggs and toast, and then have some fruit for after.
Did you mean a cup of like a hot drink, like a coffee or a tea or something?
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else, right? Because it's the first time you guys have stopped in a long time. I want to know about your breakfast. Let's make the most of it.
Or a herbal tea, I think, if they have a good one.
Oh yeah, let's say they do. Come on, it's all about flavour and it's breakfast time. You know me, I'm the flavour DM and it's breakfast time. Tell me what flavours we're having. Now,
Well, if they could do me a cooked breakfast.
Yep, well, is that a cooked breakfast with extra mushrooms, is it?
No, we can have some things with the mushrooms as well, but mainly mushroom. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I'll check what sort of mushrooms. Oh.
To you, these mushrooms look very round and dull and plain and beige.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, it's very anemic.
They look like very boring humy mushrooms. Look like they were grown above ground or something.
Oh dear, not sunlight.
Yeah, they look like they were grown in sunlight. They're really pale and have no colour about them. They don't even glow at all.
They probably
wooden
taste pretty
mushrooms
bland as well.
Well, I'll have some off your plate if you don't like woodland mushrooms.
No, I'm going to eat them. Not like home, but they'll do.
Quinaith's gonna like rock the boat and have a glass of wine with his breakfast. He's excited about going shopping.
Prod, what's this?
Oh, Kiara might follow suit and put a little something in her tea then if Cornaith's having a wine.
Like a little spirit, like a little whiskey or a vodka or something.
Yeah, like a wee. There's no such thing as an Irish one, but maybe like a little Celtic Druid gypsy coffee.
A gypsy coffee, alright. Yeah, I love it. Okay, so like you go up to the bar and you get a little shot of something put in your coffee. I love that, right? Okay. So right, when Cornaith gets his glass of wine at the bar, he looks over at you, Darrow, and says, "What about it, Darrow? It's the first time we've sat down in days. Would you like an ale? A beer? I know it's only breakfast time, but..."
Not on the day we're heading out.
Okay.
And I think, remember, the beer here's not much good anyway.
He nods knowingly and respectfully, knowing that you probably weren't likely to say that, but he felt the need to ask because he's having a drink. So he'll come back with his glass of wine, he'll sit down next to you, Kiara, smiles at you with your little extra coffee.
I do hope they're not going to be falling off the horse later.
Well, Kiara, are you just having the one? Cornaith's just having the one glass of wine.
I'm just having the warmer. It's a cold morning, guys. I slept outside.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah. Cornaith was just wanting one glass of wine. He's really feeling very excited about going shopping for magic.
I'm going to heat my cheeks up, ready for shopping.
Okay.
We elves don't feel the cold.
Okay, so Cornaith is planning. He says, "Guys, I really want to go to this magic store that there is, this Ulminer's Tower, and see if I can get some more spells into my spell book. Kiara, do you want to come with me?
Yeah, I'll come with you.
Guys, can you guys wait for like 1 hour while we go shopping, or do we have to go straight away? This is Cornave talking at this point. I know he doesn't say much, but he's really got an intention to go to that shop. He wants to go there and see it, and buy stuff.
I think we're driven by Mistress Elise's timetable. I understand the time is critical today, but could you not catch up with us?
He'll look at you, Kiara, because he doesn't have his own horse. Kiara, what about it? Can we catch up with him?
We can catch up with them. If they don't want to wait, we can go.
I don't know how to ride. Can you carry me?
Yeah, you can piggyback.
Okay.
I'm just thinking of Mistress Elise's timetable. I know she has a long day ahead.
Well, Elise says, I really wouldn't mind waiting 1 hour, but I'm ready to go. I am ready to go. I know you guys, I spoke to the sheriff this morning. You guys are heroes here in this town, but he's paid a lot of money for that. I am your employer. You're contracted to me, and I'm ready to go. It's time to go.
Well, Barry's the boss.
She's cleaning up her breakfast, she's finishing up her breakfast, she's mopping up her eggs with her bread, and she's finishing her coffee. Like, she looks around like, Artan's finished, Tess, he's wiping egg yolk out of his beard, he's having a wee beer as well, he's ready to hit the road.
Well, I'm packed and ready.
I'm good to finish our breakfasts and then go into town, and then we'll catch up with them if they tell us where they're going.
I mean, if Kiara wants to keep the Winterwolf pelt, we don't have to sell it immediately, do we?
You guys have got plenty of money, don't you? How much money do you
It's
have?
If I don't manage to sell it, then I have to carry it back with us, and we're just wanting to be quick.
It's not mad heavy. It's not going to weigh you down at all.
No, okay.
Although the wolf, it's bigger than a normal wolf, it's just its pelt.
Okay.
It's just its skin. It's going to weigh like 5 to 10 pounds or something, guys, right?
Something like that, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as cash is concerned, we have about 4,500 in cash.
Wow. So Cornave's got a share of that.
I've got personal wealth as well.
Yeah, you do.
There's no rush to sell it if you're thinking that you might want to keep it for something.
Yeah, if that's the case, then we'll stick it back in the wagon.
Yeah.
Okay, in that case, off you go to the Wizard's Tower.
So you're taking the Winterwolf with you or not?
No, she said she might want it made into a cloak, so
cool.
we'll keep it in the wagon.
Okay. So I want to know how much wealth Cornave has. How much of that wealth that you talked about is his? Because he's going shopping, remember?
Let's see, what does it show on his sheet at the moment?
It's a bit relevant just now, like, because he's going shopping.
Yep.
Don't like dragging the NPC to the foreground, but we need to for a minute.
Right. At the moment, he's got 825 gold in gems. If I split the loot between the party, right.
So we're splitting this now, so Kiara, as well as your personal wealth, you'll have this share as well.
So it's Cornaith, Kiara, Darrow, Andy McCarr, Eleonora, Cornaith. So it's divided by 6?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
In that case, another 700.
Okay.
So Cornaith has a total of 1,525.
Okay.
So if we split the cash up, and everybody has another 700.
Okay.
All right.
So have you added that to Cornave's share?
Can I put that in as total GP from other items, just so I know it's from the pot, or do I just add it to my?
Add 700 GP to your GP total.
Okay.
And someone needs to do the same on Cornave's share.
I will do that.
Cool. Thank you. So Cornaith and Kiara go to the shop. Now I've got information about it somewhere, so bear with me a second. I think I did. I may not have. I may have wrote it down on paper. Give me a second. I'm in the wiki thing to see if I put it there.
Well, that was 700 gold pieces, wasn't it?
700 gold
each.
pieces.
Thank you.
Ulminer's Tower, yeah, it's here. Okay, so Ulminer's Tower, Wizard's Emporium in Asanda, owned by Zafrab Turen. Zafrab Turen, description: bright red hair and deep purple eyes. This tall, skinny elf's appearance is shocking to some. His gesticulations and movements are exaggerated and jerky. So, the owner of this shop, the vendor in this shop, is an elf with deep purple eyes and bright red hair who moves around in a jerky manner. That's the information for him. Greets you as you come in the store. Welcome, patrons. Welcome to my emporium. Ulminer's Tower, the great Ulminer's Tower. Welcome.
Hi.
Hi. And
Who are you?
he looks you up and down. You are mages, spellcasters. And his eyes are kind of darting back and forward and side to side. And everything he does is jerky. And sorry, I'm not great with voices and impressions, but yeah, everything's a little bit weird with him.
I'm not a mage.
He looks you up and down again and says, I'm sorry, my lady. But you are a great proficient adventurer. And you look for magic wealth and magic items and magic power.
Yeah.
You're in the right place. Cornaith.
Yes.
Cornaith will quietly nod. And I don't know Cornaith's voice, but he's like, it's nice to meet another elf mage. And he gives a polite bow and he starts looking around the boys' shop. And if we're going to do items for the shop, what I'll do is I'll use the same system I did before. And it's a percentage chance for any spell you want. And we're going to say we'll randomise a few items that he's going to have around the shop, but mostly he sells spells. He will have, so if it's a first level spell you want, we'll roll a percentile dice and you'll have a 90% chance that he has that in stock. And then we'll go down through the levels. So for level 2, it's 75%. For level 3, it's 50, and then it goes down and down and down. I need to quickly write it down because I did it last time off the top of my head. This time I'm doing it and your chances are slightly better. So I need to change it slightly again. Okay, I've got levels. So for any spell you want to try and find in the store, I've got a percentage chance that he's got it in stock in scroll form for you to buy.
Okay, hold on. So I need to...
Well, I'll let Peter and Trevor and David, you guys can chip in for what Cornaith would want, what you think he's looking at.
You can also chip in for what we maybe would have spoke about would have been handy.
Yeah, so Kiara's open to your suggestions.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we don't have to roleplay it as you guys not there. You can chip in on this because Cornaith's there and you guys are controlling him. And you can suggest to Kiara as well because she's got everything in the books that we use. There's a chance that it's there.
Which levels are we looking for at the moment?
Cornaith can cast third level spells, am I right?
He's level 4, so he can only cast second level.
Okay.
But he has some third level spells in his book.
So he's got a couple ready for the next level.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want it to be ready for when I can pick up, for when I do have my third level set spell slot.
So you're interested in third level spells?
Well, yeah, I feel like I've been trying to develop and I've been learning off Cornaith and then Andy McCarr and I did some copying and stuff too. So I feel like it's something that I would be aware of being able to work on. So I wouldn't be scared of picking up.
The thing is, although you're the kind of jack of all trades of the party and you've got a bit of this skill and a bit of this skill and a bit of this skill, as far as casters go, because you've went straight up the line as a single class character, you're still on par with them as being the most powerful arcane caster. So you're probably getting the level 3 spells as soon as any of the rest of them are. So it's worth, do you know what I mean? They can be learning them from you.
Yeah. But I felt like it wasn't unrealistic that I would be looking at like third level spells now. or wanting to buy them at least.
And I remember I was working on a system for how much they cost per level, and let me see if this still works. Yeah.
Let's see what enchantment charm spells there are at third.
So if you go to Appendix 3 Wizard Spells, 3rd level spells, like so Blink.
Yeah.
Yeah. These dispel magic, feign death, fireball, flame arrow,
Okay.
hold person, hold undead, end provision.
Fireball is an obvious one.
Melsmith.
Yeah, I like this. Yes.
Listen, two of the best leveling up offensive spells come in at level 3: fireball, and lightning bolt.
Unfortunately,
yeah.
fireball is evocation,
Mm-hmm.
which means that Cornaith can't learn it.
Cornaith can't, but bards can.
Man.
A bard can do all the skills.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You've got access to all these.
Cornaith can't learn invocation, evocation, or necromancy. But he's a specialist in enchantment charm, and I think he'd love to have hold person. If it's available.
Well, level 3, I'm giving a 50% chance in his store. It's got quite a big, good, well-stocked store. So any level 3 spell, it's going to cost 500 gold, and he's got a 50% chance on a roll that he'll have it in stock. So I would
Let's roll percentile then. Yes.
What was that for? What spell?
Hold person.
And this is Cornaith.
This is Cornaith.
Alright, so put that on his sheet and knock the money off his...
Well, he needs to try and learn it first.
No, because he's buying a scroll.
Okay, fine.
He's buying a scroll to later try and learn it.
In that case, I will put it on his thing. So it's Scroll of Hold Person, 500 gold.
Where's my token?
Up here.
Oh, okay, thanks. Sorry.
Sorry. So Cornaith bought a scroll of
Hold Person.
Cara, do you see anything you fancy there?
Yeah, I would like to see if I can, if he has Fireball, 3rd level.
Alright, I'm just looking at protection from evil 10-foot radius, protection from normal missiles, vampiric touch, wind, wall, water breathing. There's some great 3rd level spells. Right, roll for fireball then. Yes, he's got fireball in stock.
Yes, I'll take that, please.
Okay, so knock 500 gold off your character sheet and add a scroll of fireball to your character sheet.
Well, I look forward to learning that from you in due course.
Mm-hmm.
If you're willing to teach it.
Of course. Right, so I'll just take this off my actual gold.
Yep, take it off anywhere, like, because the way I've structured the economy is that people can use gems. Gems are common from small...
I have more gems than I do gold anyway, but that's because I would prefer to carry gems.
They're common enough that for any bigger purchase, gems is generally the preferred choice.
Mm-hmm.
You do your main purchase. You do purchases in gems and then use the coins for change, for like big purchases.
Mm-hmm.
Gems are common. So you have low value gems. You have gems that are worth 5 gold. You probably have gems that are worth 1 gold. The gems are so common. They're right up to real big valuable ones. So you can carry a lot of wealth with very little weight.
Yeah.
It's not so much to do with lore, it's so much to do with coins are heavy in this edition of the game, and that's my way around it.
Well, I would be doing that anyway because I would be travelling all the time.
You like jewelry?
I would be carrying my wealth.
Alright, so you got a lightning bolt. Well, sorry, a fireball scroll. Is there anything else you fancy?
Right, so hold on, because I think I'm looking...
At this point, a store assistant comes to help you, and Zafrab, he will show Cornaith around. He's talking to Cornaith, and him and Cornaith are getting quite pally, and they're talking quite hush-hush, and they're giggling and laughing to each other. You're getting shown around the shop by some human female assistant now. She's quite dour and doesn't really talk much to you, but she kind of takes over for you. So if you go to the player's handbook and scroll down near the bottom, Appendix 3 wizard spells, and then go to 3rd level spells.
And there's so many obvious ones like fly and dispel magic.
Fly, yeah, I forgot fly is a 3rd level spell.
Yep.
Fly. This spell enables the wizard to bestow the power of magical flight. The creature affected is able to move vertically and horizontally at a rate of 18. Half that if ascending, twice that if descending a dive. The maneuverability class is creature B, blah blah blah, semantics. It can make you fly. Dispel magic is 3rd level.
I would dispel magic, although Tammy will be able to do it at a higher level. Both of the clerics have dispel magic, so it's likely to be one where she'll think something's better to memorize.
Okay. Slow is a 3rd level spell.
That one I was looking at Cornet's spell list. He's got that one.
Oh, okay.
Already.
What?
Obviously, at some point, Cornet's leaving, so it's one which will be useful if Tammy, if Kiara or Underdark has it.
Well, Kiara can learn it from Cornet, can't she?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She can learn his spells.
Did presumably Cornath has got a limited funds. Did he want me to have given him some money to buy things for a spell book?
He has materials for making spell books. He would have just had to buy some leather. He's got the paper. He would have just had to buy the leather.
As I said, I'll happily reimburse him for the costs.
Okay, well, in that case, he will purchase the materials for making spellbooks.
Yeah, so he was going to make another spell book to give to Anna McCarr, right?
Yep.
Is this guy in the shop any good at can he identify a magic item? Oh wait, hold on.
Yeah, it can be done by him. It can be done by him or by the assistant here.
Right, so I could maybe get somebody to check out this ring.
Oh, okay, right, so...
Only me and Cornette know about it already anyway.
Yeah, I need to jump into... I'll bump us into a different Discord channel then, Tammy, because it'll be a private
nice.
conversation. Right, guys, excuse us for a moment. Right, so you want to get this ring identified magically, because you already know it's magical, but you want to find out what the magical effects of it are.
Yes.
It'll cost you 100 gold.
I'll go for it.
Okay, so take 100 gold pieces off your sheet.
Yep.
Okay. Now, rules is written, it's that they need like a knight with an item inspecting it and blah 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 blah. The way you get around that and do a quick one is that she casts it from a scroll. So she'll pull out a scroll and identify a scroll, and she'll charge you 100 gold pieces for her using it. And she'll make the casting. So this woman, she's not even introduced herself. She's not even given you a name. She's a human woman that works in this store as the assistant. But she's a mage because she's just whipped out this scroll and cast a spell. So she'll utter the words of the spell, and you see her and she's got her eyes closed, and you see her and she kind of like winces a little bit, and she opens her eyes and she looks at you and she goes, "Oh, you haven't put this on, have you? You haven't wore this ring, child. You didn't wear this, did you?"
Ooh, no, I've not put it on.
"Oh, it's a cursed ring," and she drops it on the ground. She just drops it. "Take it away from me. It's a cursed ring. Don't wear it."
What kind of curse?
A curse of ugliness. If you put this ring on, you would become hideous. Hideous, so people would never look at you again. You would have to wear a hood and you would be outcast from society. It's a ring of ugliness. Okay. I've heard of these. This will deform you physically. And you, child, would be such a waste. You're such a beautiful girl. This would be the worst ring you could ever wear. Please, child, don't.
Okay.
Destroy it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Throw it in a lake.
Okay, I will. Thank you. I'm going to very carefully put it back in my pocket, though.
You pick it up. She's dropped it on the ground.
I'm going to very carefully pick it up and put it in my pocket.
Okay.
Like maybe wrap it in a bit of my robe or something first, and then put it in my pocket.
All right, cool. Any other business here?
Not secret business, no.
All right. Well, that was just between you and this assistant in the shop anyway, because like I said,
Yeah.
Cornaith is away with Zafreb. Cornaith has got his attention. They seem to be like all pally now. Like, you know, he's putting her arm on the top of his shoulder, and they're having a wee giggle, and he's showing him this, and he's showing him right around the shop, and Cornaith seems to be really enthusiastically getting a tour of everything, and he's getting to open books and look at stuff, and he's kind of getting, Cornaith's been distracted, and he's kind of getting the royal treatment from this guy.
Okay.
And you've just got the assistant, who didn't even give you a name.
Nice.
But she's done the identify for you, and it's a cursed ring.
Okay.
Right, I'll put us
That
back.
was all I wanted, actually. Yeah.
We'll jump back into the other voice room with the guys then. We're back. Okay, so that's that. Any other business?
Guys, do you know what I'm thinking is I want to like elemental spells. So like I like the fire ones,
Oh, well,
quite fancy.
you've got lightning bolt at level 3. Lightning bolt's a level 3 spell.
Yeah.
It's a brilliant offensive spell.
Oh,
Lightning
yes.
bolt. Upon casting this spell, the wizard releases a power. In fact, oh no. Upon casting this spell, the wizard releases a powerful stroke of electrical energy that inflicts 1d6 points of damage per level of the spellcaster. Maximum damage per level of 10d6 to each creature within its area of effect. That's all you need to know. There's more and more and more about the semantics of you can cast one bolt or like a wider bolt, or it's like in the ways it bounces off walls and stuff. But basically, it's a big lightning bolt, destructive lightning ray that goes out in front of you and everyone that it hits, and it just continues. Nothing stops it until it runs out of distance. It'll hit if you do it straight down a line of guys, it'll hit them all, and it'll keep going through them, and they all take your level d6 damage up to 10. And at the moment you're level 6, and when you get to be able to use this level spell, you'll be level 7. So it'll be 7d6 damage when you use it.
Nice. I definitely want to roll to see if they've got that.
And go ahead then. Good luck.
Hold on, I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why I muted myself there. Sorry.
I rolled the wrong dice. You've got to roll a 1d100.
Oh yeah, sorry. It's because this dice roller comes up.
You can change it in there, like, to d100.
So I got 20.
Oh, he's got it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, yes. That's another 500.
Another 500, yeah.
I'm gonna take this off my gem total.
Like I say, it doesn't matter where you take it off. It's all the value. Yeah, you've got value in gems and you've got it in coins. It doesn't matter where you take it off. So add scroll of lightning bolt to your character sheet.
Done.
So you've spent 1,000 gold and got 2 spells. Do you want to get any more? Do
Say again.
you want to get any more?
No, I think I should. That scares me now that I've spent 1,000 gold.
It seems a lot.
Yeah.
All right.
Is there any? Is it worth looking at like second level armor spells? Or not?
No, because armor spell is a first level spell, and the scroll you've got it. The scroll was written by a third level caster, so all you can do is get the same spell, but potentially written by a higher level caster. And we would have to.
Have you got invisibility?
Okay. No.
Is invisibility a third level spell? It's not.
It's a second.
It's a second. Yeah, invisibility is a second level spell.
Okay.
Well, there's a 75% chance that he's got any second level spell.
Okay, let's roll and see if he's got it then, because I don't know when we'll get a magic shop again.
Alright.
Oh,
It
74.
74, yeah, he does have it, because it was level 2.
Oh.
If there's anything under 75% he does have.
I've just got it.
Cool. So yeah, he has that in stock, and we're saying it's 200 gold pieces for a level 2 scroll.
Okay, that's not too bad then.
So take another 200 off your sheet and add that to
Yep.
your sheet.
Invisibility.
Yep. That's a good one to have. That's a very handy one.
Nice. Yeah, I think I'm good for stuff now.
Okay. So are you going to gather up Cornaith and leave, or...?
Well, I'm not going to rush him. If Cornaith is still wanting to look at stuff, I'm happy to. Like, I'm not rushing him to hurry up. I'm just, like, I'm done
Okay, Cornaith
buying things.
Cornaith seems to just be continuing to just be shown around the shop, and at this point they're like reading books together and looking at stuff, and there's no sign of him slowing down or stopping. So he's bought what he's buying, and he's just looking around at stuff now. He's just fascinated. He loves the place. Him and the guy have clicked.
Oh, okay.
So you would need to speak him. You're going to have to interrupt what he's doing to tell him that you're ready to leave, because he's not going to volunteer to you that he's ready to leave. He's not going to be. He's loving it.
Okay. All right. Okay, I would say that then. I would just, or just say I'm ready to go. If you've got everything that you were needing.
Miss Kiara, this is Cornaith speaking. This is for you, and he'll hand you a spell book. I'm not coming back with you. I'm staying here. I've asked if I can apprentice to the wizard here, and he says I can stay. I've had enough. I can't take it anymore.
Okay.
It's too much. Dead baby Snirfneblin was just more than a bargain for. A bit off more than I could chew here. You guys have been great to me, but I've almost died out here. I'm not fit for this. I think I'm a man of the books. I need to be here. I'm a man of magic, but I don't think I'm fit for the road. I think I need to be here behind a desk and in the books, and I've been offered a position here, and yeah, I'm staying here. I'm not going back with you and the guys, Miss Kiara.
Okay. Oh.
I very graciously have to leave you. I wish you...
I totally understand.
I wish you luck, and I hope if you come back through this way, you'll always come to see me. But this is where I would want to be now. I've had enough of monsters and things trying to kill me and things trying to kill my friends every day, and it's broken me. I can't do it. It's not where I want to be, and that's not what I want to do, Miss Kiara.
I hear you, Cornaith. I'm happy for you that if you want to stay here. Like, I'm excited for you to stay here and to do whatever it is.
Something like this.
Quietly and... Yeah.
Something like this is where I need to be. You've seen me. I'm not fit for it out there, Miss Kiara. Yeah, I know how to cast a magic spell, but I don't have the same guts that you guys do. I'm not fit for that life. It's not for me. I'm out. Yeah, and he sits down. Thanks, Miss Kiara, for being my friend, and for always having my back, but I'm done. And he sits down and picks up one of this wizard's books, and he kind of just ignores you and looks down into his book. Starts reading.
Okay. I would maybe in my head think about the times that I did think about hurting him sometimes in my head.
I think he was quite polite for the way you've treated him a couple of times.
Yeah, he was. I would just be like, okay, I'm quite happy if he wants to stay here. Is this a book for Adamankar that he's gave me? This spell book?
He says it's for you. You can do with it what you wish.
Okay. Is it a book of spells, or is it a...
It's an empty spell book.
Oh, it's empty.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, he's not even giving me his spell book now.
No, I can make spell books. I can make another one of these in a day to replace it. The man here has given me, Zafrev, my new friend and my new employer, has given me this book to give to you as a parting gift, because I know that you wanted to come up here and get one for Andy McCarr. So here is one, but I'm not coming with you. You won't have my services anymore as a bookbinder,
Couldn't have told me that you were going to stay here and apprentice this guy before I was paying £500 for a scroll and that.
Oh, the man's running a business. It's not gonna change the price.
Okay, I'll take the book.
From across the road, Zafreb laughs in a nervous, weird manner, like, that's right.
Okay. They're weird now. I think I'm going to get my...
Everybody's weird because I can't do voices. Everybody just turns into Beavis.
No, even Cornave's being weird because he's like, just give me the book, and he's like pretty much just like, all right, churro then. I'm like, okay.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah? Yeah. That's cool. I would thank the lady again for telling me about the ring as well, though.
Ah, you're welcome, child. Just please promise you'll destroy it.
I'll think about it.
Please, child. This thing is in. It's too ugly, too horrible a thing to be in your possession. Get rid of it as soon as you can. Somewhere where no one will find it again. This is no good for anyone.
Okay.
This is a blight on the world. Get rid of it. It's only a problem.
Okay. I still got it in my pocket though. But I'll take out my scrolls and stuff, and I'll take the book and then probably go and get. Did I say I had the bear with me still?
You took the bear with you.
Yeah. Oh, sweet. At least I've got the bear. I'm not actually headed back on my own. All right. Especially now if I'm going to be catching them up. I want to.
Okay, so I'm going to switch up the maps then, because you're going to that's you just hitting the road now to catch up.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will switch this onto the big map, and again, viewers, this will take a wee minute to load. This one does.
Yep.
So you want to go and see Bert first in the morning before the start of your journey, right? Okay.
Well, he asked us to, didn't he?
Yeah, yes. Yeah. Sorry, we're skipping back. We're skipping back a scene with you guys. We've done Kiara's scene at that point, so we're skipping back to that same timeline with you guys then. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Go ahead. What are you saying to Bert? You walking right into the office?
Yes. He wanted us to see him, and we wanted to know if he was interested in these weapons and armour that we got.
Oh, that's right, aye. Because he's going to have to arm up some more men for his for guarding up the entrance that's getting pulled down. So he wants to buy all the armour and weapons and shields that you've got to spare.
Okay.
We can worry about the money after. We can do it later.
That's fine. Okay, so he buys that little lot. Yeah. And was there anything else he wanted?
I mean, there's going to be... He's going to embrace every one of you. He almost died beside you. You saved his life. And there's going to be... You'll have a moment with him. He's going to be, thank you so much. You saved my town. You brave heroes. You saved my town. Thank you so much. You will have star treatment whenever you come through here. Any room in any hotel is yours. You'll pay for nothing. You'll eat here for nothing. Everything you want. You'll always be my honoured guests here. Thank you so much for everything. And thank the Mistress Elise for me. Thank her. I mean, we already thanked her. The mayor thanked her. Every taxpayer in this town has thanked Elise, but thank her so much again from me. And thank you, brave Darrow, brave Stinkynook, and so at this point, brave Andy McCarr, Eleonora. That's it now, isn't it? Because the bear and the other two are yeah. So yeah, thank you all of you. He'll thank you all by name. He'll give you all a handshake. He'll embrace all of you with a hug. He'll bow. He's he's courteous. He's thankful. He's grateful. He's almost gushing with thanks for you guys.
Oh well, it was all due to Darrow's leadership. So you're welcome.
You were pleased to be of service.
Okay, so he starts looking at the pile of armor and the war hammers and the spears and the shields. I've got some work to do, gentlemen. Unless you want to stay and help me train and arm a guard force, then you're welcome to. I would love you to, but I'm sure you must be hitting the road, right?
You're a bit too. You folk are a bit too big to be proper scouts, so I think not.
Eleanor has to appear at your king's court.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for everything you've done.
We need to get her there. We have to go with that, Elise.
That at least. Well, I hope she's paying you well, because I bloody know we are paying her well. Yeah. I don't know what I want to say. I can't say too many things about that, at least before I just start calling her a greedy bitch. Like, but anyway, it is what it is. Deals are made. Payments are paid. I am forever in a debt of gratitude to you. To all of you. Thank you so much. You saved my town. And hopefully we're going to be alright from here. I think we're going to be okay. I think next time you come by, we're going to be prosperous and everyone's going to be healthy.
And don't be sending messages to all the towns up the way saying that we will stop and help them, because we do have to make Eleanor's deadline in the King's Court.
Darrow, my lips are sealed. Good dwarf. I thank you, and my lips are sealed. I'll say nothing.
And I hope to visit you again, even if only in 50 or 100 years' time, whenever I'm back this way.
Well, I mean, I hope I make it to see your return under my car, but if not, I hope you find the place in a good condition, and whoever takes over from me is looking after it and shows you the same respect and love that I always will here. You'll be known in this town. Whether I'm here or not, you'll be known when you arrive back, whenever it is.
Well, I have pleasure in looking forward to that day.
You're a hero in Asanda. You all are. Thank you.
Okay, we head up the roads and wait for Cornaith, Kiara, and
Okay, so you get up,
Charlemagne to meet us.
you get up the road to a place called the Halfway Inn. There's a sign outside that says the Halfway Inn, and there's statues of two dwarfs outside. Big statues, they're not dwarf size, but you can tell that they're dwarfs by their beards, by the shape and the size of them, the stocky build of them, the weapons they carry, the shields. Their armour, they are dwarfs. Look like dwarf warriors.
Oh, it looks proper respect.
They look like well-armed, like hero dwarf warriors. Not like soldiers in an army, but more like, like a dwarf fighter, like almost kind of like Darrow, even though he's a cleric as well.
And there's dwarven statues outside. I like this place. We just have to check they have proper dwarven beer.
Okay, so if you bear with me a second, I've got details of it written up.
I hope they have food fit for taller people, too.
I don't know if I've got a menu written for it, but it's a large inn and tavern roughly halfway between Asanda and Haybrook on the Silver Road, owned and run by Claribald Hayhurst. And I don't have a bio or info for him, so he's a nondescript man called Claribald that owns the Halfway Inn. The Halfway Inn is busy tavern, very, very, very busy, with 3 floors. So you've got on this floor there are rooms, up above there are rooms, and on the 3rd floor there are rooms. And here there is a large bar and kitchen area, there is a stable out the back. I mean, you guys can see all the map, right? I don't have maps for the upper levels, but that's the map of the lower level of the Halfway Inn. So you want to, I don't know if you want, it's late at night when you arrive, like late at night, like maybe 11, 10, 11, 12 o'clock, it's a whole day travelling, so you arrive late at night, and at some point 1 hour later Kiara's going to arrive after you. So in that hour, what's going on with you guys? You find the room straight away? Or?
We have some food, and I'm glad I had that hearty breakfast.
Alright.
And some beer, and they got some proper dwarven stuff.
Okay, now we roll for it, don't we? They will have dwarven ale, because it's a big place that's well supplied, halfway between 2 major towns. So it's well supplied by traders, so they will have a dwarven ale. So we roll 1d10 for how good it is, don't we? I'll let you roll it. There you go, it's a 6 out of 10. They've got a dwarven ale, it's a 6 out of 10. Anybody else would like a drink, wants to roll for the quality of it?
If they have an elvish wine.
Yep, they all definitely have an elvish wine. So you can roll for the quality of that if you like. There you go, it's a 7 out of 10.
Oh, yeah, not bad.
Don't suppose that they might possibly have some mushroom wine?
Let's give it a 25% chance first of all. Oh, they do. Right, okay. So roll me for the quality of the mushroom wine then. It's a 4 out of 10.
It hasn't travelled well.
It's not the best vintage, no.
No. But it's
mushroom wine.
yes.
It'll
I shall enjoy it while I've got it.
It'll go with your half oily, half burnt mushroom cigars.
No, there's one complete pack gone. The rest of them.
The nature of this place is you'll be able to get a meal, even though it's late at night. You'll be able to get a meal just now. So the kitchen will still be staffed. There'll be hot food, with meat and vegetables and soup and all the things you would expect, bread and big meals. They've got dwarven ale, real ale, human ale, elven wines, human wines, spirits, all the kind of thing. A busy big place. You see the size of the bar. This map's all relevant. This is quite a relevant map. So, we don't have tokens on it. Can start with that. I guess Darrow will be at the bar. Hey.
Yeah, at the bar. And,
Eleonora? Elise? Elise doesn't stop for a drink. She goes straight to her room because it's late at night. And Artan, he's going to stop and have a drink with you, okay?
so what's happened to those two?
I shall make sure that there is space for the bear out in the stables.
Okay, so when you go out to the stables, you find that there's still a young man out there working, and there seems to be a few open stalls.
Well, so you warn him that there's a bear going to be on its way.
Yes, our pack bear will be arriving later.
Young lad with not even a whisper of a mustache, trying to grow this little whisper mustache. He's like, a bear, you say, yeah? A bear, okay, great.
Yes, a
brilliant.
pack bear, yes.
Great, a pack bear. Oh, right, okay, it's a pack bear. That makes it better. That makes it okay. Thank you. Thanks for letting me know in advance. And he starts going, and he's shoveling shit, and he's doing it, and he starts grumbling, a fucking bear. It never ends in this place. A fucking bear. And he's turned his attention away from me. He goes back to his chores when he's grumbling away about a bear. Fucking hell, a bear.
Fair enough. Back inside. Tell Darrow that I've arranged stabling for Charlemagne.
Okay.
Yeah, so where are they? They should have caught up with us.
Depends how many drinks you have, they will catch up with you. Because she just went on at normal pace, or unless you decide how long they spend there, Tammy, because you can spur the horse and the bear on a bit.
Well, just the minimum amount of time.
You're only about half an hour behind them, because you didn't spend
Right,
long...
okay, half an hour. Time enough for them to have maybe got me in a plate of food so that I didn't have to wait for it when I got there. And then, I
Very well said, Tammy. I think the reason they didn't say it is because it goes without saying, of course, eh? Gentlemen.
Yeah. I did feel like that.
Everyone's moaning about where are they? Don't they know these roads are dangerous?
Well, half an hour after you arrive, they will arrive. Chiara and Charlemagne. No Cornaith.
Where's Wizard? You were supposed to be protecting him.
And before we do, it's 5 to 11, so it's a good time to stop there and do that next week. So we don't have to do that in just 5 minutes. We've got all of next week to go through that, yeah?
Yeah.
So we'll cut it off there. So Chiara arrives with just the bear. You guys look over her shoulder to see Cornaith, and he's not there.
She's lost the great wizard. Careless.